brokerage firm to help you with your Medicare, life insurance, and annuities. L&L Advisors is the #1 local Medicare supplement and insurance specialist. Medicare can be confusing. Let the experts at L&L Advisors help make sense of it. Stop by one of 3 locations in Salina or McPherson and speak to an agent about the needs of your family. L&L Advisors, main office at 717 Trojan, Central Mall, Salina, and downtown McPherson. Based on honesty and trust, contact L&L Advisors today.
It's portable restroom season, and your friends at Salina Septic Service are here to remind you there are options. Summer barbecues, festivals, fairs, they can bring you a top-of-the-line portable restroom. Keep those dirty feet out of your house and your female friends happy. Heck, they can even bring along a portable hand washing station. Because who wants Jim roasting marshmallows after he goes in the trees? Salina Septic Service, here for your freedom of those dirty little situations. Online at salinasepticservice.com.
Time now for tonight's scouting report for Southeast of Saline football.
Back here on Countdown to Kickoff, I'm Tyler Henry, and it's time to go behind enemy lines, presented by Salina Septic Service, ahead of Southeast of Saline's season opener with Rock Creek. We're joined now by Shane Sieben, the head coach of the Mustangs. Coach, first and foremost, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to chat with us.
Thanks, Tyler. Glad to be on.
Good teams always want to be challenged early on in their season, and for that reason, I know Southeast of Saline has been very enthusiastic about this home-and-home with your program, but I wanted to get your perspective from the Rock Creek side. I mean, do you like having your season opener in such a high-profile matchup between heavyweights like this?
Yeah, that's a great question. We were talking as a staff. Yes, we like being challenged early. We just feel like our schedule's already so tough. We're not big fans of having this tough of an opener back-to-back years. And even going back before that, before we had Southeast, we opened with Rossville the 2 years prior. So, you know, for 5 years that I've been here, we've opened up with just absolutely powerhouses. So I'm not a big fan of it, but at the same time, we've learned an awful lot from it. And it's benefited us in the long run.
I know with a week one matchup, most of the time the focus is going to be within. There's less film available on your opponent. You don't really know the true shape and identity of anyone yet. With that said, what are the biggest things that you'll be looking to see on your side of the matchup from your guys right out of the gates here in these first couple of quarters of your season?
Just how well we communicate, how well we execute things. It's always tough week one. You don't have a lot of film. We got about, 12 plays from their jamboree. So you're not sure what to expect. You really just want to see your guys align properly and be assigned and sound. And it's always a struggle to see how well you tackle early on. So those are probably the 3 keys defensively that we're looking on, and then just execution offensively.
I know that, like Southeast, you guys graduate a lot of talent from a season ago, but from a coaching and style standpoint, I mean, what are kind of the consistencies with SES that you're expecting to see again here tonight?
Coach Gebhardt does a phenomenal job, and schematically they're as good as anybody in the state, and spreading you out and attacking weaknesses. They try and spread you out and create gaps inside, and then they'll tighten you up and try and get on the edge. And they've got a lot of team speed, and you know what you're going to get from them. And they're going to be tough. They're going to be hard-nosed. They're going to execute, and we're going to have our hands full. Let's
talk offense. I know there's been a lot of chatter in the offseason about the absence and graduation of Dalton Whitworth, who led the whole state of Kansas in passing last year. But you and I had a chance when we were talking about our season preview to chat a little bit about his replacement in Mac Lee. This is a kid that, as I understand it, didn't lose a JV game as a starter of that team a season ago. What are some of the things that you like most about your new signal caller here coming into week one?
Mac's a great player. He's a hard-nosed kid. He's a coach's kid. His grandpa was kind of a legendary coach at Onega here in the area for a number of years. His dad included a middle school program. So blood, he's a tough kid. He's a great leader. He can just do a lot of things. He can beat you with his legs. He can beat you with his arm. We've also had a sophomore step up and make it a 2-man race that has just been really good the last few weeks, and he might get some reps as well. So we feel really confident with 2 quarterbacks and feel both can give us a good look.
In the past, you guys have not been shy about throwing the football around. That's led to, at least for my money, a really fun style of football to watch on Friday nights. But your offense has also stayed pretty balanced overall, establishing that run game as well. How crucial is maintaining that balance just to keep the defenses you're playing against off balance and guessing?
Yeah, I think for us, it's very similar to what you'll see from Coach Gebhardt, Southeast of Saline, and that's what we're going to attack, what you give us. They're really good about counting numbers. numbers and seeing where they have a numbers advantage. And for us, we're very similar. If we have a light box, we feel like we need to run the football. When you lose to the box and get more guys on the edge to defend the pass, we've got to attack you that way. So it's going to be no different this year, and we're going to be able to exploit. We feel like we can exploit both things, and our O-line has improved and done a good job so far at camp, and we look forward to seeing how they execute.
You guys bring a lot of talent back on this defense. Dagan Venduska, Cade Welfringer, Mason Faith, Peyton McCarn, just to name a few. What does that unit have to do to really come out of the gate swinging and just be clicking all on the same page right away?
As fast as Southeast plays, we're going to have to get aligned correctly. We're going to have to recognize formations and then just rallying to the football, playing physical football and tackling well.
I know we talked a little bit about your quarterbacks coming into this matchup, but to the uninitiated Southeast of Saline fan, who are some of the big names on this Rock Creek team that they can expect to hear their names called quite a bit tonight?
It's really just going to depend on, we feel we got a lot of weapons, and I don't think we're going to favor one over the other. We don't have an Ethan Burgess that's going to end up with 1,400 yards receiving this year. We're going to have a bunch of kids with 400, 300, 400 yards receiving, and again, it's just going to depend on who the open guy is. I think we're going to have a more balanced attack in that regards, but it's not a one-guy thing that you're going to hear. If things go as planned, we would plan on hearing a lot of names called.
Southeast will look a little different this year as well, but from what you see on the roster from the matchup a season ago, are there any individuals, any names that kind of stand out to you that you guys will really have to be prepared and ready for tonight?
Again, they're very balanced. It starts with a running back, 1,000-yard rusher last year, freezing kid that can really, really run, and looks like he's put on some weight and is even stronger and faster than he was last year, if that's even possible. So we know we're going to have a work cut out with him. And then the quarterback, I know he started safety last year, very athletic kid. He played against us a little bit last year, and he causes some problems in the QB run game. So I think it starts with those two, and as always, you're going to see a number of receiving threats that he can hurt you with as well.
I know a season ago you guys made the trip down to Gypsum to play this game. How exciting is it for you guys not only to have this one here at home, not have to make the drive, but also to have that home crowd, just giving you guys a little extra support here in week one?
It's always good not to have to travel. So we're happy to be at home, and we're going to have a tough opener, but we look forward to it. Just getting out there and Friday Night Lights and having the opportunity to play in front of our home fans is always fantastic.
Last thing for you here, Coach, what are your biggest keys to the game? And I know you touched on a few of them earlier to come away with a big victory here in front of the Mustang faithful and start your season 1-0.
Going to have to win the ball control, win turnover battle. That's the most important always for us. We talk about winning turnover battle and tackling extremely well and then just aligning and executing.
Well said. Well, Coach, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck to your guys tonight.
Thanks, Tyler.
All right. That was Rock Creek head coach Shane Sieben. His Mustangs taking on Southeast of Saline tonight. We'll step away. Don't go anywhere. The Countdown to Kickoff show rolls on next. You're listening to SES Trojan Football.
Are you looking for a local brokerage firm to help you with your Medicare, life insurance, and annuities? L&L Advisors is the #1 local Medicare supplement and insurance specialist. Medicare can be confusing. Let the experts at L&L Advisors help make sense of it. Stop by one of 3 locations in Salina or McPherson and speak to an agent about the needs of your family. L&L Advisors, main office at 717 Roach right off Crawford and in the Central Mall Salina and downtown McPherson. Based on honesty and trust, contact L&L Advisors today.
Frisbee Construction is a service organization for the commercial grain industry dedicated to giving you the best in planning, the best in quality, and the best of workmanship and overall the best value for your dollar since 1949. Frisbee Construction specializes in new construction as well as remodel and repair of grain handling facilities throughout the Midwest. Frisbee Construction Company in Gypsum has emergency crews available as needed. For more information, go to frisbeeinc.com.
Back here on Countdown to Kickoff, getting ready for Southeast of Saline Trojan football. It's the 2023 season, and that means head coach Mitch Gebhardt joining us once again, presented by Frisbee Construction for his 14th season. It kind of hit me a little bit last night, Coach. I'm going through and I'm doing game prep, and I don't know that this means anything other than you and I are getting old. Or older, I should say, yep. But you've been here now. You're entering your 14th season. I'm working on my 15th season, and, man, it's a fun time of year, isn't it?
Oh, it's great. You bet. I've enjoyed all 14 of those years out at Southeast of Saline and working with you.
We'll start off. We usually do this at the end of this interview for game number 1, but we'll start off. Through those seasons, you've had most of the coaching staff intact. What does that look like entering this season?
It's awesome. We've been lucky. I believe this is either 9 or 10 years in a row we've had the same coaching staff. And, when we start the previous season's over and we start going through stuff, it's an outstanding thing. Everybody kind of knows what we need to do. And, I really think we're pretty efficient. most of the time, and just having guys back and being able to work together with them has been a great thing.
For the past 5, 6, 7 seasons, you've had a Gebhardt on the roster as your kids have come through, but now it seems like the majority of the coaching staff has kids coming through at the same time. That's got to be an interesting dynamic.
It is pretty neat, for 3 of us to have a son on the team, and I really feel like we do a good job of coaching our own kids and things like that. But it's pretty neat to look out there and see those guys, and they've kind of grown up together, this group of boys here, because we hang out and things like that. So it's been pretty cool. 9
months ago, you lost a game. You're down to the final 4 of the 2A race going to the state title game. And once again, you flirted with an appearance in the title game. 28-22, a double overtime loss to Kingman. Not so much how the team responded to that or anything, but how do you see the younger guys that are back this year, the guys that are putting the jersey on again? How do you see that game just kind of affecting them this year and the vision that they have for a brand new season?
And we talked about that early on a little bit, but we've kind of tried to put that in the rearview mirror. That season's over with, and we want to move on. Obviously, we always have high goals for ourselves to continue to always get better and those type of things. And, I think those are kind of the goals that we've set for us this year.
What did the offseason look like for you? You graduated a lot of seniors with a lot of talent. Obviously, those guys have to be replaced, but you also have some guys coming back ready to be either in the role that they were last year or stepping into new roles.
Yeah, we've been real lucky last several years. I don't know how many that would be, but a lot of years we've had good leaders step into, one after another, and every time a group of guys leave that have been leaders for you, you kind of question whether you got some other guys that are going to step into those roles. But we've been very, very lucky with the guys that we have this year that have taken on leadership roles, and I'm excited for them to be the old guys now, and kind of put their stamp on what we do. We were very fortunate for that, and they've done a great job of kind of getting these younger guys to understand how we do things and how we go to work and those type of things. So I'm excited for them.
Give me some names. Who are some of those guys that you're looking at now that are stepping into those roles of being the leaders?
Daniel Kerr would be one of them, and Cameron Whitty, Nathan Weller. Those are the 3 that really jump out on the page for me. But that whole group of seniors just signed Monday, and those guys, just whether they're vocal in the locker room or not, or however they lead by example, those type of things. Everybody kind of has their own way of doing things, but those guys do a good job of leadership.
There are so many opportunities outside of the base, so to speak, high school season for guys to get on the field with jamborees, with summer camps, with 7-on-7s and things like that. We talk about this every year. It all starts in the weight room. How'd your off season go for you?
Our weight room was good. We had 36 boys that had 80% or more. We had a lot. I'm not sure what the percentage was at 100%. Come in the weight room for the summer, and that's where everything starts. It starts in the weight room. We had a good spring to lead up to that, and then we had our own camp, and we had a scrimmage at Kansas Wesleyan that went really well, and then we scrimmaged south later on in the summer, and we do 7-on-7 on the 4 Mondays in June. And I felt like if you'd have videoed us the first day of camp and videoed us at the end of the summer, you'd have went, holy smokes, they took huge strides. And I feel like these first 3 weeks of practice, we've also taken big strides. We've been doing this a long time. I think June 3rd was the first time we met together and had camp. So we've been doing it for a long time. So it's probably about time we play a football game.
The weather is always a subject when you get to this time of year. Some schools for tonight, they put the game back a little bit. Kansas Wesleyan tomorrow move their game up to a morning game. It's always just something you have to deal with, right? We talked to Wade Castleman this week about adversity and his runners going out when it's 100 degrees. How do you deal with that? It always seems like you guys are conditioned just a little bit better.
It is something you got to deal with, and we do a good job of keeping track of our kids and making sure things are okay. We went a little later in practice, and a lot of times we took pads off and things like that. But, I feel like we manage it really, really well. We're lucky. A lot of our kids aren't guys that sit around on the couch and don't do anything all summer long. Yeah. So, a lot of times our kids are probably a little better off than maybe some other places. So, and we expect them to be ready to go. I think our weight room in the summer, it's not easy to be in there. And come in 3 days a week or 4 days a week and get through that stuff too. So I think that helps us a lot. We do a boot camp the week before football starts, and that's not easy either. And I feel like that helps us get in condition for the week to come, for the week when football does start. And I think that's a big step for us.
When you look at the offensive side of the ball and some of the guys that are coming back, you return 3 of your top 4 rushers from a season ago. That all starts up front, and you return your center with Nathan Weller coming back. He had a little bit of a problem last year with an injury, played through it, was able to get that repaired. And you were telling me before we went on the air, it wasn't that long ago he got cleared to play this year, and now he is back anchoring that offensive line. Just talk about your offense in general coming into this game.
You know, and Nathan worked his tail off to get back. This is what he wanted to do. He wanted to get that knee fixed up, so he was ready to go for opening night, and we weren't sure with the amount of time that he'd have that would happen. But he's worked his tail off, and he's cleared now, so we're excited about that because he does anchor it. But, you know, we're going to look a lot like we have in the past with these kids that we've plugged in different places. Obviously, we're going to make some adjustments for what they can and can't do, but I really feel like we're going to look a lot like we have, and we're going to try to take advantage of some defenses and the way they do things.
When you go to the defensive side of the ball, and a lot of these seniors were sophomores, they got a lot of playing time, whether it be because of injury or because of the way the current score was. But I'm thinking about Cameron Whitty, Wyatt Boyd, Daniel Kerr. Those guys are now in the senior class, and they are leaders on the defensive side of the ball. What do you expect to see on that side?
You know, and that's a big deal. We did have 2 years ago there. We went through a run through there in districts where we had 4 or 5 guys that were hurt, and these guys stepped into those roles and did an outstanding job. And obviously, they did some good stuff for us last year also. But that's big for us. Just the amount of downs that those kids have played, which will help us because we're starting some young guys that haven't played a lot of downs in varsity games. So again, those guys are leaders and. Hopefully they'll lead us through that. But I think we'll be fast and physical. That's what we're hoping for. We may be as fast on defense as we've ever been. We've had some pretty fast defenses, so we're awful excited about that.
Who's a couple of people, I always love asking you this question going into game one, a couple of names that may pop out early that may surprise us if we haven't been on the field with you in practice over the summer? You know,
and I think all the seniors we have, those guys are going to contribute in a big way. I'm trying to think down the list here. Tucker Thaxton, obviously he started every game at receiver. He's got a little more responsibility this year. He's going to start on the defensive side of the ball, and he's one of our return guys. So he's had a great summer. He's worked his tail off to get better. You know, Evan Watkins will jump in there at our wide position there, and you know, I'm awfully excited. He had when we were scrimmaging south there at the end, he did an outstanding job there, and has just continued to get better. So those 2 guys as juniors, I really feel like they've stepped up this summer.
Big game here, game number 1. This is not an easy opener, and I think you like this about your schedule here early on. You go Rock Creek and then Beloit next week, but this Rock Creek team, again, looks like they may be one of the top teams in Class 3A coming into this season. What do you know about the Mustangs, and how do you expect this game to go tonight?
I know they're going to be awful good. You know, they talked about whether they reload or whatever, but and those guys just continue to reload with great athletes. They've got awful good athletes, and so we got to be able to defend stuff in space. They put a lot of pressure on individual guys, and we got to be able to defend that. And they have a good run game that complements their passing game. They're going to want to throw it, and need to do a good job against that. Defensively, they're going to be aggressive. They're going to come at us. I would imagine they're going to try to stop our run game. So, you know, we're going to have to be ready for that and counteract that. And special teams wise, they're good. They have athletes, so their special teams have been very good in the past too. So all 3 phases of the game, they do a good job. Their coaches do a good job, so they'll be well prepared.
It wasn't that long ago, I remember we used to talk about the difference of being on turf instead of grass. That's really not an issue anymore, as you guys practice a lot on turf, and the majority of your games this year are on turf as you look throughout the schedule. But just guessing here, and you can call me out if I'm barking up the wrong tree, Coach, I'm guessing the keys for the Trojans tonight here in this first game is to start physical and to stay that way for 4 quarters. What do you think about that?
100%. We've got to be physical with these guys. And you always question it first game of the year, we hit and practice and everything else, but it's not the same as it is in a game. And guys got to be able to understand that they got to do it every single down. You know, and I think another key is just not turning the ball over. You know, they're explosive on offense. We understand that. And if we could get a turnover from them and we don't turn the ball over, that's a huge thing in this football game, because I really think these 2 teams are pretty closely matched.
Here we go, 14th season. Mitch Gibb and his coaching staff taking the Trojans into Rock Creek tonight for game number 1 of the 2023 season. Coach, best of luck, and we'll talk to you at halftime.
All right, Devin, thank you.
Back with more Trojan pregame kickoff right around the corner after this on KINA.
Are you looking for a local brokerage firm to help you with your Medicare, life insurance, and annuities? L&L Advisors is the #1 local Medicare supplement and insurance specialist. Medicare can be confusing. Let the experts at L&L Advisors help make sense of it. Stop by one of 3 locations in Salina or McPherson and speak to an agent about the needs of your family. L&L Advisors, main office at 717 Roach right off Crawford and in the Central Mall Salina and downtown McPherson. Based on honesty and trust, contact L&L Advisors today.
You're telling me your driver turns you on remotely?
It feels so good. One gentle touch of a handy remote or mobile app and my motor is running. And don't fret, my little pickup pal. New Image Audio installs these inside trucks too.
Oh, yeah.
You'll want it when the winter chill hits. A remote start from New Image Audio for cars, trucks, even diesels. All systems remote and cell phone capable. Nationwide coverage. Get yours at New Image Audio on South Broadway.
In Salina.
This has been Countdown to Kickoff. The opening kick is right around the corner.
It's about to get ugly.
Back to the stadium we go for Trojan football on KINA Sports.
Welcome back into the stadium affectionately known as The Rock to the locals here just north of St. George and east of Manhattan. It's time for Southeast of Saline football in the 2023 season. Devin Haney in the booth for the 3rd year, accompanied by my good friend Russ Kossel on the field tonight. Probably, I don't know, maybe a one-off appearance. We have Tyler Henry on the sidelines. He is on the field at courtesy tonight of Salina Ortho. Russ, here we go. It is a brand new season. It doesn't seem like that long ago we had completely opposite climate, right? We were freezing our tushes off, and Kingman went to double overtime, a chance to go to the state title game, and just a one-score loss. Kingman advances on. They go to the state title game where they get steamrolled by Nemaha Central. But this is a new-look Southeast of Saline team. I think a year ago at this time, we were looking at this type of season, and we were excited. We saw this big matchup that was bigger than life for small school football between Southeast and Rock Creek, and they both had tons of seniors coming back, tons of firepower. We thought maybe we'd see 150 points in that game. Southeast ends up winning 38-26. This year, though, it's a little bit different for both teams. There are a lot of young guys, talented guys, but young guys that will take part in this game here tonight on both sides.
Yeah, and you talked about it. There's a new, you're going to have new quarterback, new running back, new corners on the defensive side of the ball. But we start on the offense with Daniel Kerr. We saw him a lot last year, obviously with the blowout wins that were happening for Southeast, and now he gets the keys to the offense. There was no doubt about it. When Luke was graduating last year, it was the keys were immediately handed to Daniel Kerr. He's going to have new receivers on the outside. Tucker Thaxton, look for big things from him. Wyatt Boyd, and those two names you need to watch on the defensive side of the ball as well as they're starting new. They've seen a lot of cornerback experience between the two of them, but now the keys to the defense on the outside are turned over to them.
This may be a squad that you talk about and you're like, okay, the cream rises to the top, right? And I say that because just the outside knowing in, there were a lot of guys, especially for a 2A football school in Southeast of Saline, that started summer workouts. That number dwindled down. When kids made the decision that this wasn't for them, or maybe the work ethic that has been installed in Southeast of Saline football wasn't quite what they were looking for or had time for, this has been whittled down. Mitch Gebhardt told me, I have 42 guys on this roster, but I guarantee I will put everything I have into each one of those 42 guys individually because I believe in them. They've put in the work, and they have done what it takes, and they deserve to be here. I thought that really was the first conversation we have had about that. And as we know, there are tons of choices now that you can make when you're playing high school sports. Some people make choices. We all make decisions at some point or another. And I just thought that was interesting how he told me this roster was whittled down to where it is. And the guys that are wearing all white tonight, white tops, white pants, purple helmet on the far side of the field here at Rock Creek will compete through this season. And this schedule is not easy, is it? I mean, you start out here with one of the best teams in 3A in Rock Creek. Next week, you renew the Trojan War with a very tough Beloit team. You look on through the schedule, a team that people are really, really, really hot about this year in Class 3A in the NCKL in the Clay Center Tigers. They're on the roster for the schedule. You also look down the road and you look at teams like Ellsworth. Ellsworth had one senior that played considerable minutes last year. They will be good again. Remember, they were 7-0 when they tangled with Southeast of Saline last year. this schedule is going to be good. The Halstead Dragons are on there. Derek Reset, give him another year. He's going to get the Dragons turned around and it back to where they used to be. This whole season, I think, is going to be exciting, and it's going to be something to watch with Southeast of Saline. Good thing we have it for you on live stream video on SalinaPost.com. Of course, that is presented by our friends at L&L Advisors, and it's time now. First game of the season. Russ Koss will take it away. Your new image audio keys to success tonight for the Trojans.
I think it starts up front on both sides of the ball, the offensive line and defensive line. Keaton Blake, Josiah Monday, Nathan Weller, Brody Chambers, Kendall Miniman, on the offensive side. And this Rock Creek team is big up front. There's no doubt about it. They passed the eye test, looking down from where we are up here. But I think it's the inside two for the defensive line for Southeast of Saline in Brody Chambers and Josiah Monday. If they can wreak havoc in the middle and get pressure on the quarterback, it will be a long night for Rock Creek.
On the field, we'll go to Tyler Henry as he is down there. He is feeling what the Trojans are feeling field level. And Tyler, the weather tonight, it is hot.
It is hot, but at the same time, it's not as hot as we thought conditions might be. Not as hot as it's supposed to be tomorrow. So these teams are both fired up. I think we're going to get a real feel for both of these sides early on. We know coming into this matchup what we're expecting. A good balance of the pass and the run for Southeast of Saline, expecting them to come out and maybe try to heat things up a little bit on the ground. Rock Creek historically has loved to go to the air. They have not been shy about that, but like you guys said, a lot of new pieces to plug in, and these are two teams that come in with very high expectations. We're going to find out whether or not they can live up to that, and we're going to find out right now.
We thank you for listening here on KINA 910 AM, also 107.5 FM. You can listen on our website, 910KINA.com, or you can gather in the radio broadcast paired with live stream video. Our friend Brian Dennett, high atop the press box here, and he has the camera working for live stream video of tonight's contest and all season long here for Southeast of Saline football. Southeast will receive. Rock Creek will kick it away as we begin this contest for Rock Creek. Teeing that football up and ready to have the guys dressed in black and white go is Mac Lee. They will spread it out. They will work it from right to left. Your forecast, by the way, that Tyler so eloquently danced around, just other than saying it's hot, 92 degrees, southeast wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. By the time we're done with this, that wind should remain consistent, and it will be 78 as we're leaving the stadium tonight. Rock Creek's ready to go. So is the 2023 football season as the ball is on the air, and it's going to be kicked to Cameron Woody, the only Trojan that had a return for a touchdown. Here he goes to the 10. 15 angles off to the left-hand side, gets caught just shy of the 20-yard line at the 19, and there is a flag on the field on the near sideline, on the Rock Creek sideline of things. We'll check that penalty for you. Meanwhile, I will introduce the Southeast of Saline offense up front. Center, Nathan Weller. He is the lone returning offensive lineman starter from a year ago. To his left, Josiah Monday, a senior. Left tackle, Keaton Blake, another senior. To the right, Brody Chambers, 281-pound sophomore. And to the right tackle, another sophomore, Kendall Miniman at 180 pounds. Behind them will be Daniel Kerr, a 180-pound senior who has not lost a football game at quarterback. At JV, he was undefeated. He'll have Nathan Friesen, a 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago, along with Cameron Woody, Evan Watkins, Wyatt Boyd, and Tucker Thaxton. And this offense will have to come out of a hole to start after a holding penalty on the returning kick. So the Trojans will start it out here on offense, back at their own 10-yard line. First down and 10, first play of the game. And they're going to go to Kerr, who's looking for a hole on the right-hand side, and there is nothing there. He might have lost 2 on first down.
Yeah, just really nowhere to go right there up the middle. Kind of bobbled the snap a little bit on the fake handoff to Friesen. Not an ideal start, putting yourself second and behind the sticks to start this game.
So Friesen with a -2 to start the game. Trojans back now to the 8-yard line. Sorry, that was Daniel Kerr. Looking for the handoff to Friesen. They could not make connection. Here's Kerr now pitching out to the left-hand side. Has a hand on the ground. It's Tucker Thaxton. He's off to the races. Tucker is fast. 20, 30, 40. Cuts it back to the hash to the 50. And he's at midfield. A quick pitch and catch on the left-hand side from the southpaw quarterback to Tucker Thaxton. We have seen him play receiver on a varsity field since he was a freshman. He was oh so fast, and he broke off a nice chunk of yardage there, 42 yards.
Yeah, great job right there as a low throw. Thaxton able to corral it and keep his balance, putting his palm on the ground, turning up the field, and then cutting back to the middle.
Lovely play by Tucker Thaxton. First and 10 at the 50. Now rolling out to the right, Kerr will throw it again. He'll put it up in the air for Wyatt Boyd. Boyd tiptoeing that sideline will knock off 8 yards on first down. That brings up a 2nd down and 2.
And a tough play for a left-handed quarterback to roll out to the right side, turn his body, set his feet, hit the receiver in stride, able to gain about 7 to 8 yards right there.
2 good plays in the passing game after a run stumbled on the first play of this drive. Trojans at the Rock Creek 42-yard line. Pitch out, Friesen. Friesen has a stretch play. Cuts it back to the inside. Dodges one tackler. Now gets inside the 30, and he's going to be corralled at the 29-yard line as Nate Friesen, his first carry of the year, the 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago, takes a carry of 13 yards.
Speaking of 13, Cameron Whitty right there with an excellent block on that cornerback that crashed down. He just let him crash in, turned his shoulder pads, pushed him in, allowing Friesen to get to the outside.
Trojans continue to push. They have first down once again. It's at the Rock Creek Mustang 29-yard line. Sun, right now, behind the press box off the right cheek of the Trojans. Here's another throw out to the right, and a miscommunication there. Wyatt Boyd was in block mode. Daniel Kerr was looking for his only receiver out to the right-hand side, and that ball could have been a dangerous situation, but it falls incomplete.
Yeah, and I think the reason it wasn't dangerous is Rock Creek is giving plenty of ground to these wide receivers. So I think the coaching staff recognizing that on that second play of the game to get the ball out quick with a lot of cushion to get up the field.
2nd down and 10. Daniel Kerr in a pistol formation this time. Friesen directly behind him, maybe even shaded a step to the right. Friesen will block. Kerr, little head and shoulder fake. Now he wants to scramble. He's going to come out of there. Tries to go back a little bit towards the center of the field. Had Thaxton for a little 5-yard hitch route, and that ball cannot be completed. And it's the second straight incompletion for Daniel Kerr after starting 2 for 2, and a big 3rd down and 10 coming up here for Southeast of Saline on offense.
Yeah, and it looked like Cameron Whitty trying to set up a double move right there, a little corner post out route, just unable to shake the safety.
I think we have learned enough about Mitch Gephardt. We don't need to say this, but we will. This is 4-down territory. 3rd down and 10 from the 29. Pistol again, loaded up on the right-hand side. Kerr drops the snap. Now he's going to unload it to Evan Watkins. Watkins will run it inside the 25-yard line to the 24. That will get 5 yards and bring up a more manageable 4th down and 5.
Yeah, and that was another one on offense that Coach Gebhardt was excited to watch in Evan Watkins, 172-pound junior out on the outside to see what he can do for this team this year.
Watkins, a total of 4 catches a year ago. 1 catch a year ago. He had 4 runs. He has already eclipsed the total of catches there in his junior season. 4th down and 5, Southeast of Saline trying to pick it up. Big play here early on, going to the out, and right in front of Tyler Henry. Tucker Thaxton was stretched out, couldn't quite get it there, and Tyler, that is a turnover on downs for the Trojans.
It is, but at the same time, you got to be happy with what you've seen out of Daniel Kerr on this first drive, and I think Southeast of Saline wants to come out and make a statement here. They're not afraid to go to the air. We were kind of expecting that they might lean on the run here early in this game. That has not been the case, but at the same time, now you put the defense back on the field, you got to find a way to get a stop.
Tyler on the field tonight, courtesy of Salina Ortho. Now the two teams will have what we refer to in soccer as a hydration break, as they will get some water in them and think about what is coming up. 10:25 left to go here in this first quarter. Southeast of Saline with the first drive of the game, and they stumble inside of the 25-yard line at the 24. That's where Rock Creek will take over here with a new set of downs, and our chance to remind you that Southeast of Saline Sports this year here on KINA and Eagle Radio is brought to you by the Kniper Agency of Farmers Insurance. You can see them over just right off campus of Kansas Wesleyan over on Cloud Street. Go see Morgan and Stephanie Kniper. They are, of course, proud supporters and alumni of Southeast of Saline.
And I think now the first drive out of the way, I'm sure Daniel Kerr, early game jitters. We saw that pass right there. Thaxton was wide open on that out route, had plenty of cushion, just kind of led him too far rolling to his left-hand side. So now we get to see that defense and that interior line, see if they can cause enough damage up front.
Mac Lee is the quarterback for the Rock Creek Mustangs. He will start out in a spread offense in a shotgun formation. One receiver comes to the left-hand side. It's actually the running back who is not in the backfield that time, Trevor Christensen, and it's a procedure penalty here against the Mustangs as they stumble out of the gates on their first drive.
Yeah, it looked like Mason Faith there. The left tackle spot went a little early, so now, just like Southeast was on their opening play of the game, Rock Creek now set behind the sticks.
Back to the 19-yard line go the Mustangs. Wearing all blacks, white numerals, black helmet with their jersey number on the side. Of course, Southeast in those bright, clean white jerseys. Up front, it's Bryson Lippold, Brody Chambers, Josiah Monday, and Drew Weller. Go off one unit, looking at another. I got into the linebackers early there. First down and 15 for Rock Creek. They're going to try the same formation here with Christensen coming underneath. Lee will fake it to him, and then he is going to be brought down for a short loss on the play. Brody Chambers in there. And I have a feeling we're going to call Big Brody's name a lot this year. He is a 281-pound sophomore. He played a lot at the end of the year last year, both offensively and defensively, and he's going to be clogging up that middle along with Josiah Monday.
Yeah, and a great job right there. They tried to crack down on Brody as you'll see him go to the opposite side of the field now to rotate from inside to out.
Back to the 17. Second down and 12 for the Mustangs. Two receivers on each side. Lee wants to get rid of it, and it's nearly picked off, and it's incomplete at the 15-yard line. A diving attempt there, Tyler Henry, by Southeast of Saline's defensive back on that play.
Yeah, Kenyon Douglas right in on the play, and Rock Creek is fortunate that didn't get intercepted. He jumped the route perfectly. You see they want to go to the air. They're spreading it out. They've got 5 wide as they'll duck into more of a traditional shotgun set here, but Southeast of Saline getting good pressure, like what we've seen here on these first couple of plays out of this Trojan defense.
Third down and 17 for the Mustangs, and they are buried back at their own 17-yard line. Mustangs, 2 receivers again on each side and a running back. They were going to throw it long down the sideline on the right-hand side, and it's going to be caught a yard to the good for the Mustangs on the first down. Wow, what a play there by Rock Creek as they pick up 18 yards.
Yeah, it's Brandon Craneville right there. Just a great route to know exactly where the sticks were at. Set your foot, turn around. Ball was right there in front of his face as he turned around. A great, great throw right there by Mac Lee.
Boy, an unfortunate conversion there for the Southeast defense. 3rd and 17, and Rock Creek gets out of it. Now the Mustangs in business. They are out to the 35-yard line. And now a play blown up once again by the Trojan defense behind the line of scrimmage. Boy, by the looks early on here in this game, this might be a game where we see passing because both defenses have really risen up to stop the run game early on.
Yeah, and they have right now going with more of a 3-4 look. Josiah Monday and Brody Chambers are on the outside, and then just one nose tackle up the middle, and Brody and Josiah doing a great job of getting pressure.
Drew Becker on the carry that time for Rock Creek. Trip receivers, 3 to the left-hand side. Mac Lee wants to roll out that way. Now he's going to unload it. Has a guy. It's Dagan Vinduska, and Vinduska will bring it out across the 40-yard line to about the 42. Nice positive play there for the Mustangs of Rock Creek as they break off 8.
And it looks like it's Deacon Bear that is playing the nose tackle position, and Josiah Monday and Brody Chambers just kind of flopping, and Josiah seems to go to the wide side of the field.
From the 41-yard line on their own side of the field, 3rd down and 2 for the Rock Creek Mustangs. 2 receivers on each side. Drew Becker still remains the running back behind quarterback Mac Lee. He'll take the handoff. He'll challenge this Trojan defense. He gets through the first wave and stumbles to the 50-yard line. A gain on the play of 8 yards, once again for the Mustangs as they go to midfield with a new set of downs.
Yeah, and a great job up front. Deacon just kind of lost his footing a little bit as he had made past the first level and just had his head down and lost his footing and was able to break through the line of scrimmage.
Still scoreless here at the Rock, just north of St. George, east of Manhattan. 8 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Second drive of the game. Each team has had the football. Right now, Rock Creek working on their initial possession. Here is a big hit in the backfield, and it's Josiah Monday. He came in, and he absolutely leveled the running back, Trevor Christensen, as Josiah turns Friday night into another manic Monday with a loss of 5 yards.
And I know you're probably told to leave the end unblocked there and read him, but when the end is Josiah Monday and can get back there before your guy in motion can even fake the handoff, he could have tackled both of them right there. Fortunate for Rock Creek, he was able to hang on to the ball.
There's going to be some states you can only play that hit after midnight when the kids are already in bed. Here's a pass now down the seam, left-hand side. They go right back to Christensen, which I doubt that call, really, because he has to be still ringing from that hit that was just laid out by Josiah Monday.
Yeah, it's still able. The front 3, Deacon Bear, Josiah Monday, and Brody Chambers, able to get enough pressure on a 3-on-5 battle right there to force Mac Lee to throw that ball early.
3rd and 15. Once again, a 3rd and long for the Mustangs. They converted the first 3rd and 17 that they were in, deep in their own territory. Now out there at their own 45 with a 3rd and 15. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. They go a total of 5. Mac Lee's being chased. Josiah Monday, hot on his trail. Lee gets rid of it, and it's knocked out of the air by the Southeast of Saline defense. Coming in, taking the ball out of flight, and knocking it down to the grass is Cameron Whitty.
He had a much better job right there by Cameron Whitty. He broke with the receiver and was just a half step late of picking that one off, as it looks like Rock Creek's going to bring out the punt team.
And a punter that we saw in pregame was uncorking some kicks really, really good. It's junior Elijah Bell.
We'll have the wind behind him a little bit here.
So Elijah Bell in punt formation. He will be punting back to Tucker Thaxton along with Daniel Kerr. Token pressure that time. Southeast of Saline setting up the return, and the football falling into the hands of Daniel Kerr, who is coming up asking for the fair catch at the 29-yard line. Southeast of Saline football, we're off and running. Each team now has had a possession to begin this brand new season, and we are scoreless as both teams move the ball really well in the middle of the field, but neither one of them could really get it into scoring position, and Southeast of Saline will take over again. Tyler, as we come down to you again, having the hydration breaks here, both teams and the sidelines, the referee crew doing a great job making sure everybody has a chance to get some water.
Well, and with the temperatures being what they are, like you said, about 92 degrees at kickoff, better to have these breaks and get the water in them now than when you have somebody down on the field for cramps. So definitely a good precautionary measure. I'll let you guys talk a little bit more about this here in a second, but I'll tell you what, Southeast of Saline up front defensively, they've had some big boys on that defensive line the last couple of years. If they can get this much pressure and have this much of an effective defensive run game to stop the opposing team's run with 3 guys on the defensive line, that's going to be a problem for some of the teams on the schedule. Rock Creek doing their best. They started to figure it out just a little bit, but they don't need to bring extra pressure.
You know, it wasn't that long ago when you talked about the Trojan defense, Tyler. It was a basic 4-4. And they would do a little bit of things out of that, but it has really here lately over the last 3 seasons become an exotic 4-4, where there might be 3 down linemen instead of 4. You might have 2 outside linebackers that are coming up to the line of scrimmage. Those linebackers also might drop back and be glorified nickelbacks into coverage, where you're having 6 defensive backs. This defense, Russ, has really evolved right before our eyes, and it's hard to diagnose it sometimes.
Yeah, and it's a great job, like Tyler said, to get pressure with 3 guys.
Southeast comes out for their second possession. Kerr takes the low snap. Now he's looking for some daylight, and he finds some with Evan Watkins. Watkins, though, lost the football. This football sits underneath a Rock Creek leg right next to the sideline, and the official says it did not go out of bounds, and he's going to award it to Rock Creek.
So it did not look like the ball went out of bounds. However, I don't know if it's anything like basketball. Watkins was laying out of bounds and was trying to reel in the ball.
Now, you can't do that.
So I would assume it would be dead right there. Nonetheless, he tried to make one move and just got the ball stripped, and that'll be just a 1-play turnover drive on first down after having an 8-play drive on their first possession. And now, which sets Rock Creek up in the best field position that they've had.
So the first play of the second drive ends up in a fumble after about a 2-yard gain on the pass. Kerr to Watkins. And Watkins had that ball stripped out from him. Now a pass in right in the middle of the field that is nearly taken back the other way by Southeast of Saline's Gannon Jacobson. They are looking for Christensen in the middle of the field, and Gannon Jacobson, his first year at safety, came up and nearly took that one back for the Trojans.
Yeah, and once again, about a quick 3-step drop, and he had pressure in his face. It looked like they brought one off the outside from what you would call that glorified nickelback position, blitzing on the corner. And Josiah Monday just absolutely destroyed 2 guys, allowing one to go free.
As Tyler mentioned earlier, these guys up front, they're moving around. Chambers right now over here at right end as Josiah Monday goes to left end. Now they shift, pre-snap. Here's the give, end around, looking for the jet sweep to Christensen. He is hit from behind by Nate Friesen and then tackled after that for a gain of just 3 yards. So 3rd down and 7 here coming up for the Rock Creek Mustangs.
And that's been a theme for Southeast for years. You know, the first guy may not get the tackle, but you're not going far after that, after contact. There's 4 or 5 white jerseys around every time. So a big 3rd down here in the second drive of the game.
6:25 left to go here, first quarter. We are scoreless. 3rd down and 8 for Rock Creek. They're in Trojan territory at the 23-yard line. Here's the high snap back to Mac Lee. He's being chased, wants to unload it, gets it out to Christensen, right at the sticks, tackled from behind by Cameron Whitty, and looks like he will have the first down by about 1.5 yards.
Deacon Bear got great pressure right there, and they would have nameplates on the back of their jerseys. and ripped off right there. So maybe a missed hold call, but nonetheless a conversion on third down. It's going to be a tough stand early for the Southeast Saline defense.
First down and 10. Christensen on that play got the first down as Rock Creek tries to run it again, and they go nowhere, losing yardage with their quarterback, Mac Lee.
Now some substitutions coming in as they're going to swap out wide receivers here, but a big stand early, and you're asking a lot for these three up front. Hopefully the pressure can stay there all game, because I think with what we would call rookiness in the secondary, as far as this level, you're going to need as much help as you can get.
Loss of a yard on that play as Bryson Lippold comes in and makes the stop. Empty backfield here. Mac Lee wants to pass it, goes behind the wide receiver. It's Drew Becker. He was looking at in the slot that time, and that will bring up another 3rd and long. It's 3rd down and 11 after the incomplete pass. So far, Mac Lee, 3 of 7 throwing the football. He has 44 yards.
And they're on their 3rd substitution in the first 2 drives of offensive linemen, trying to find somebody who can block Brody Chambers. They are lining whoever up in front of him wherever he goes.
Best of luck. I think that's a trend that we will probably see all year long, and I'm here for it. 3rd down and 12 here for the Mustangs. Empty backfield again. 5 wide receivers into the middle of the field. Gannon Jacobson nearly had him another one. At the goal line, the sophomore laid out and nearly had himself another interception. That's 2 now off the gloves of Jacobson, and a big 4th down coming up here for the Rock Creek Mustangs.
It looks like they're bringing in a possible field goal attempt here as Mac Lee appears to be the holder.
Mac Lee will be the kicker.
Okay.
And out of the hold of Peyton McCarn. They are putting this down at the 25-yard line. It'll be a 35-yard attempt. And as you said, the wind, if he hangs this out just the right way, the wind could help carry this in. So a 35-yard attempt by Rock Creek here at the field goal, and it's going to be short. Tyler, you had probably as good a look at that as anybody as you were looking down the goal line at the crossbar, and the kick just didn't have enough juice.
Yeah, it didn't quite have enough to get there. Had to kind of look around the sun a little bit to catch that. But really quickly, did want to make one note on Mac Lee. We've already seen it. The kid has got a cannon. I don't think there's any question about that. But early on, one of those we keep seeing him make, he seems a little overcommitted to his reads. He has tried to squeeze that ball into really tight SCS coverage on a couple of occasions. I've got 4 near interceptions on my count. I don't know what you've got, but he is going to have to start either going to a different read or throwing that football away. Sooner or later, Southeast is going to start coming up with some of these.
5:13 left to go here first quarter. Again, we are pausing for the guys to get hydrated. You're listening and watching live coverage of Southeast of Saline football here on KINA and also SalinaPost.com. Live stream video paired with the radio broadcast, and that's brought to you by our friends at LNL Advisors.
Quite the weather change there for Brian up there on the roof from the last game we had where we couldn't tell who he was, and now he's got shorts on when he shows up.
The good Lord above, man. Bless Brian Dennett. Look after him because he is out there doing everything for us, and we sure appreciate it. Going back and, of course, watching these games live are awesome, but then we get to go back and Saturday morning or maybe sometimes Friday night, I'll find myself, and it may be 2 in the morning, I don't know, and I'm watching some Southeast of Saline football and going back and looking at different plays and things like that. It's just so much fun, and I'm glad that we are able to do it. Here's Southeast of Saline now out to start their 3rd possession of the game. Grady Gebhardt in for the first time, and the sweep around the left-hand side. The sophomore takes a couple of Mustangs on a ride with him as he will have a first down. There's a flag in the middle of the field at about the 26-yard line.
Yeah, about 7 yards past the line of scrimmage, probably in the area of holding, which is what they're going to call, but it's a name you've heard say a lot. It's Gebhardt's the last one coming through, and just seeing him from last year to this year, he's just built a lot different and put on a lot of physique in the last year.
There's a lot of guys on this team that have put on some pounds. There's no doubt about that. And Coach Gebhardt and I talk about just the relationship in the weight room between these guys. And, boy, that's where it all starts. I mean, it is the physicality. We know how they want to play. And that is no secret how Southeast of Saline football is birthed in the offseason. So a 6-yard carry by Gebhardt, then the penalty for the holding will be marked off for that. It's going to be first down and 14. Here's the sneak inside. It looks like Evan Watkins was the lead blocker on that play out of his slot position, but they hand it off and that is going to be pushed backwards after no gain on the play. Maybe got a yard in there.
Well, they're going to leave the sticks the same, no gain right there. So we've seen both teams now try to run the ball up the middle, and there's just nothing there. And that one run by Gebhardt on that last play, negated by holding, seems to be about the most successful running play they've had getting to the outside.
Two receivers to the right-hand side along with a slot back. Kerr wants to look to his left-hand side, though. His strong side has a receiver, and then tumbling over a Mustang or two and then tiptoeing his way out of bounds is Nathan Friesen. Friesen will have positive yardage on the play, it looks like, depending on where they spot him out of bounds. And it's going to be a gain of about 3. So 3rd down and 11 coming up after that short pass completion between Kerr and Friesen. Friesen's first catch of the season. Keep in mind, too, Southeast of Saline working their way out of a hole here. They were backed up, now sitting at the 19-yard line on their own territory. 4:29 left to go here, first quarter. Still 0-0.
Now Malachi Hopkins checking into the game as a far wideout.
3 wideouts to the right, 2 to the left. Empty backfield for Kerr. Here comes the blitz after a low snap. Daniel's going to try to run through it, and he cannot. He gets back to the line of scrimmage to avoid the sack, but no gain on that play, and it's going to be 4th down and 11. And Southeast of Saline, for the first time tonight, will put on their punting unit.
And that's now about the 3rd or 4th snap in this game in the first quarter where Kerr has had to pick the ball up where it's been low, and it just disrupts timing when it's that low. It kind of throws everything off, especially when you're in motion and it's a timing set.
Evan Watkins, your punter, he had one punt last season for 40 yards. Good snap back to him. He's going to put his foot into it against a breeze here, and Rock Creek is going to handle it on a knee. They're going to be blown dead here. The Mustang tried to get up and run with it. Christensen could not do that as he laid out to take that football in. And a good punt there by Watkins. He will start the Mustangs at the 42-yard line.
Yeah, about a 40-yard punt once again right there as the ball was snapped from the 19-yard line, kicked to about, they're going to move it up here. Nope, now they're moving it back. Back to about the 39. So a great punt, 42-yard punt. Great job there by Evan Watkins.
They'll start at the 42-yard line. And again, take a little bit of a break here, Tyler. Just talk about the conditions right now. You were on the Southeast of Saline sideline on the far side. There is a kind of a mass shade right now that's being provided by the press box. So it looks like between the 30s we have shade, but in the 30s to the end zones, they're still sunny.
Well, and the important thing is that is the inside of the coaches' boxes, so that's where all the players are congregating. I'll tell you what, it may not be a 25-degree difference, but it feels like a 25-degree difference between the shade and the sun. That thing's still working on setting behind the press box right now. But as far as the game's concerned, you look at really no score on the scoreboard, obviously, to speak of. The biggest difference has been in field position as far as the shift goes. Biggest play of this game has been that fumble Southeast of Saline coughed up, but they've made up for it. They've stood tall, and that was a deep punt to pin Rock Creek back in their own territory.
0-0, our score. Let's go over some scores for you, or at least the scoreboard. Sacred Heart at Wichita Trinity tonight. We're filming that one. It'll be on YouTube tomorrow, that you can check it out. The Knights starting the Norm Jennings era. Ellsworth at Beloit. We're definitely keeping an eye on that one. Here's Rock Creek from their own 42-yard line, a handoff, and another big hit coming in there quickly is Josiah Monday making first contact. Then he was backed up by Grady Gebhardt and also Deacon Bear, who we're calling his name a lot here early on.
Yeah, and it's kind of like reminiscent of last year. We weren't sure, Josiah Monday coming in as his first start last year, and I strictly remember calling his name a lot against this same team.
And we went, who is this guy?
Yeah.
2nd down and 13. Mac Lee wants to pass it out in the flat. He will to Christensen, and then Christensen is hog-tied up high by Cameron Whitty at the 44-yard line. Quick little gain there of 5 yards. Out to Christensen. He is having some success in the passing game tonight. He is not having any success in the rushing game.
Yeah, neither team really having any success in the rushing game right now. It seems to be the quick 4 to 5 yard out routes are about the only thing that's been there.
3rd down and 9. Rock Creek sitting at the 44-yard line. Shaded to the left-hand side of the field. Mac Lee under pressure. Chambers goes by. He breaks that tackle. Now gets out of Monday's tackle. Now stumbling. He drops the football and it's recovered. Southeast of Saline's going to have it at the 50-yard line. At the midfield stripe. Daniel Kerr comes up with the football after it was coughed up by Mac Lee.
And once again, all 3 defensive linemen got their hand on Mac Lee right there. And the last one that came across swiped the ball free, fell right into Daniel Kerr's lap, and a great job of recovering that. It's falling right on it.
So good field position here for the Trojans as they will take over. And we'll have a quick switch here with no water break. 2:35 left to go in the first quarter. 0-0 is our score. Southeast of Saline takes over. Friesen, little stutter step, gets it in the middle of the field. He's going to push the pile to the 47-yard line and have a gain of 3 yards.
Yeah, and just really, once again, nothing really going up the middle either way, especially right here for Southeast. We've seen all their good runs, a positive yardage be on that, almost like a jet sweep in motion.
2nd down and 8 for the Trojans. In Mustang territory, barely. A little lollipop throw out to Thaxton. Tucker puts on a move. He has some room, and he drops the football, but it rolls out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. Where are they going to say he went out here? Did he make it all the way to the 30? And he did. Boy, 14-yard gain there from Kerr to Tucker Thaxton. His second big catch of the night.
And all the yardage is catch and run, turning up the field and going catch and run, because these are just 2 to 5 yard out routes as Southeast goes quick here.
56 yards already for Thaxton. Here's Kerr on a quarterback run, stretching it out to the right-hand side. There's a flag on the play. Kerr is going to be taken down after a gain of about 3, but the flag comes from the sideline over here on the near side, which is the Rock Creek sideline.
They might have got Cameron Whitty right there with the hold on the outside as he tried to let go, but as soon as your arms are done stretched out, the refs have already seen it.
So we'll see where the flag lies. After Kerr got about 3 yards, but they will take that back now. And the spot was at the 30, which was the line of scrimmage. So they'll take it back to the 40. Loss of 10 on the play via penalty for Southeast of Saline. Still first down, though it's 1st down and 20 from the 40-yard line. Kerr, a little play action, fakes the handoff to Friesen, rolling out to the left, being chased. Gets away from one Mustang. Now he turns it up the sideline looking for more. And Friesen Kerr over there trying to tiptoe the sideline, was hit out of bounds as he gets back nearly to the line of scrimmage, the original line of scrimmage.
Man, it almost wonder right there if you just run that out of bounds instead of trying to force it up for an extra yard. Took a hard hit right there, popped right back up.
I don't know that he's going to be able to do that for you, though. Just kind of seeing the makeup of Daniel Kerr and what he's done over the few years that he's played football and basketball especially. I don't know that he's made like that. 2nd down and 11. Kerr now with an empty backfield, has 4 on the right-hand side. Gets away from one would-be blitzer, goes down the field, and there's going to be early contact, it appeared, as Cameron Woody was waiting on that football to come in. Tyler, what's your take on that field level?
Yeah, I try to give the refs the benefit of the doubt, but that looked like PI from here, and it looked pretty clear.
Gebhardt seems to agree with all 3 of us as he was clear down about the 1st down marker at the 20-yard line.
Like how Tyler said, I try to give. Sometimes, though, you remove all doubt. From the 31, it will be 3rd down and 12.
Long first quarter, it seems like here.
Yeah. 2 receivers to the right. Slot man also on the right-hand side. Kerr will roll that way. Now it's a throwback to Friesen. Friesen about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Gets that back, though, and gets 5 more before he's escorted out of bounds. And it will be 4th down and about 6 after that pitch and run. Kerr to Friesen to call it 4th and 7.
I've noticed on a few of these routes, and we could go down to Tyler after this play, but it looks like almost that Rock Creek is starting to creep up. Their secondary is starting to get closer and closer to the line of scrimmage.
Friesen now with 2 catches for 7 yards, 4th down and 7. Here's Kerr on the fake to Friesen. Goes back to the middle of the field. Evan Watkins at the 20, got hit, then stumbles ahead, and that little surge up ahead will move the chains for Southeast of Saline as Evan Watkins gets it to the 19 3/4 yard line.
And Tyler, is that something you've noticed down there, that they're kind of creeping up towards the line of scrimmage?
Well, they don't really have a choice. Southeast wants to play in the flats, and they've been hitting them with that all day long.
Southeast wants to go again quickly. Here's Friesen, little stutter step, tries to bounce it outside, and in a dog pile, he will be taken down at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, had a lot of moves side to side right there, but still able to get up the field and get almost 5 yards on that carry.
4 carries, 11 yards so far for Nate Friesen. Back to the pistol formation, 2nd down and 5. Good rhythm here being established by Southeast of Saline. Fake to Cameron Whitty, coming on the jet sweep into round. Kerr will keep it, and he will just stumble ahead almost back to the 15-yard line. He's going to lose a half a yard.
Yeah, once again, just really nothing going up the middle, and it almost feels like you're going to go to it and keep going to it as it looks now. Friesen is checking out, and Gebhardt is now checking into the game at the running back spot.
Grady Gebhardt will line up left-hand side of Daniel Kerr. 3rd down and 6 for Southeast of Saline. Gebhardt will block. Kerr rolling out that way. Wants to throw it. Has Tucker Thaxton, who gets out of a horse collar, then surges ahead to the goal line, nearly scoring for Southeast of Saline. It will be a 1st down and goal for Southeast.
Yeah, it looks like they had him stepping out about maybe the 4.5, 5 yard line.
Tyler, talk to us.
It was awfully close, and honestly, from here, it was kind of tough to tell. You got a lot of legs twisted up there, but I will say official right on top of it. Still great field position here on a 1st and goal for SES.
Tucker Thaxton coming up big, already 68 yards. Here's 1st down and goal from the 4. Sweep left-hand side. Gebhardt steps back in. His good vision puts him in the end zone for the first time this season. Grady Gebhardt had a game last year against Lions in which he scored 3 rushing touchdowns as a freshman. Now as a sophomore, he comes in and he takes the first touchdown for Southeast of Saline in a brand new season. 19 seconds left to go.
Yeah, and it looked like he had a lane there to go outside, but if you know Grady as much as we've seen him run, especially in that game against Lions last year, he planted that left foot in the ground and just sniffs out contact. And 1 or 2 yards to go, he's like a bulldozer down there, and it's just going to pile through.
Point after here looks like it will be the swinging gate for Southeast of Saline. Everybody looking over to see what the sideline has to offer here. And they will load up heavy to the right-hand side. Whitty, the center, turns around. He pitches it to Gebhardt, and Grady is going to be swallowed up by a bunch of black jerseys, and it's no good. 19 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Southeast of Saline on the board first, as Grady Gebhardt has scored. It's 6-0 Trojans right here on KINA.
It's 3rd down and 8 for the Trojans. They really need to make the right call here.
During the football game, it's crucial to make the right call. And in real estate, one call can bring a positive outcome from your real estate experience. Whether you're looking for real property, upsizing to make room for the family, downsizing, or acquiring investment property, call Winnell Garrettson at SalinaHomes.com.
What a call! Touchdown, Trojans!
Buy or sell, call Winnell.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Southeast of Saline football up 6-0 here. 19.1 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Southeast Sports here on KINA and also on Salina Post, brought to you by Southeast of Saline Education Foundation. Also Kelly Kitchener, your shelter insurance agent in Salina. McKim Service and Anesthesia Associates, the Salina Pain Clinic here on Eagle Communications. Grady Gebhardt with a 4.5-yard touchdown run makes it 6-0 for Southeast of Saline, as we are trying to round out a really long first quarter here, about 35 minutes worth of football here in this one quarter.
Yeah, and maybe, with them extra water breaks that they're giving them, it's going to extend it out a little bit. Usually in the first weekend, Labor Day weekend, it is not 95, 100 degrees out, so been hot weather. We were hoping for cool weather, but hopefully towards the second half it'll be cooler.
Here's the kick by Wyatt Boyd. He's a returner from last year, putting footballs in the air. It's going to be taken by Rock Creek. A little bit of room, but then closed up on quickly at about the 32-yard line, making the tackle there for Southeast of Saline is Kenyon Douglas. Remember that scoring drive started after a fumble from Rock Creek. Southeast of Saline got the football at the 50-yard line and just kind of mixed it up. Little run, little pass here and there, and your Marshall Motor scoring drive ended up with a touchdown run by Grady Gebhardt. 6-0 Southeast. Rock Creek now has the football as they are starting this drive out from their own 32-yard line. First down and 10, Mustangs, empty backfield. Looked like the receiver on the near side moved early, but Mac Lee is going to go ahead and run this play. He's tackled by Josiah Monday after a gain of about 2.5 yards.
And you go back to that scoring drive that started at the 50, 11 plays that ended up with 6 points.
And that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. Quarter break after a 6-0 First quarter for Southeast of Saline. Rock Creek has the football. When we come back, you're listening and watching to Trojan football right here on KINA and also SalinaPost.com.
Maybe you don't play quarterback or make the highlight reel. Maybe you're not a high school athlete anymore. But just like an athlete, you can get first-class orthopedic care from Salina Ortho. Their doctors and staff strive to get you back to an injury-free, pain-free life as quickly as possible. Salina Ortho has a doctor on call 24/7 for all orthopedic injuries. So next time you're injured, trust the experts at Salina Ortho. Your voice, your choice, past, present, and future. See them online at salinaortho.com.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Back here at the Rock, just east of Manhattan, north of St. George, it is Rock Creek High School. Our first visit here for football. Nice facility, brand new stadium, still playing on natural grass. They have a really nice brand new baseball stadium, though, here. Just all artificial turf on the field. Looks spectacular. It's a nice venue out here for school and for sports for the Mustangs of Rock Creek. Southeast of Saline leads 6-0. Rock Creek starts out second down and 8 at their own 35-yard line as we begin second quarter action. Glad you could join us. Here's a pitch out to Evan Pecker, and he is absolutely smashed over here on the edge.
Yeah, and you're going to get absolutely smashed because Cameron Whitty got assist in propelling forward by the wideout out there. It's going to be a block in the back on Rock Creek.
So stringing it out to the right-hand side there, they not only get the hold, but Evan Becker, the tailback, also paid for it as Cameron Whitty came up and just lowered the boom. I think we've already seen the Salina Pain Clinic hit of the game, and that was the hit that Josiah Monday laid up on the tailback for Rock Creek in that first quarter of action for a loss of 5. But don't ever underestimate the Trojans. It is kind of a game of, let me see if I can do that. After the Rock Creek Mustangs here take a holding penalty, this will back them up to their own 25-yard line after a loss of 10 on that penalty flag. Second down now from their own 25. Here is Mac Lee, and a beautiful diving catch for the Mustangs, taken in that time by Dagan Vinduska. What a play.
Yeah, and what a throw by Mac Lee, letting Dagan Vinduska clear that first level. Kind of a deep zone defense by SES right there, and he just threw it right as he got past the first level, and when he turned to look, the ball was right in his lap.
The top returning receiver from a year ago on this team that was just loaded offensively, Dagan Vinduska last year in his junior season, 18 receptions, 290 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He has 2 so far in this game. Third down and 7. Lee under pressure. That was by design. Now dumps it off to Vinduska, and he will drag a Southeast of Saline defensive back across the line to gain for first down. Boy, that was a great play there by Dagan Vinduska. Once again, this is going to go for 8 yards and pick up a first down.
And a great play call right there. They were bringing pressure, kind of 1 second, let them go. Dagan Vinduska comes right behind the big offensive line and able to pick up the first down.
First down and 10 for the Mustangs as they are pushing it towards midfield right now at the 44-yard line. Again, empty backfield for Mac Lee. Wants to go to the right-hand side again. And Southeast saying that this is incomplete as diving for the football is Brandon Cranebill. And Cranebill's going to pull it up and have a first down, a gain of 11.
Yeah, and clearly on the other side, Coach is not happy with that call as it hit the ground again. And you're going to have to be careful on that far sideline as Coach is extending way out onto the field.
Mitch Gebhardt has his headset off, and he is talking to the officials right now about that. Here is Mac Lee trying to get out of pressure, and he's going to be sacked and dropped. For the second time tonight, it's a sack by the front men for Southeast of Saline, led by Josiah Monday. Deacon Bear also in there for a loss of 2.
And let's give Deacon Bear a lot of credit because it's due. He is a smaller guy. I mean, he's only 170 pounds going against 210-plus on all 5 of the Rock Creek offensive line. And those 3 up there, Josiah Monday, not extremely large, but he is so quick on the first step. If you don't get your hands up, he's by you.
Second down and 12. That will push the football now back to the 46-yard line after a loss of 2. Lee with another empty backfield. Gets hit again by Bear. And a ball that will be dropped out on the flat on the left-hand side by the Mustang receiver. That will bring up third down and 12. I am liking what I'm seeing out of the junior Deacon Baird. If you're going to be a defensive lineman, Deacon's the name to have, right? I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's exactly right. You got Deacon, Brody, and then Josiah just kind of out there quietly wrecking havoc everywhere. And like Tyler said early in the first quarter, if you can have 3 that can bring pressure, that allows the rest of the defense to kind of flow around to the football.
Third and 12, big down here for Rock Creek as they are at midfield trying to pick up yet another third and long situation. Mac Lee floats the screen pass out to Becker. Becker gets by one Trojan, then flipped head over heels by another Trojan coming in. Once again, that's Daniel Kerr on defense.
I'm going to send it down to you, Tyler. How fast did Josiah Monday just get in that backfield?
Almost too quick for his own good. I'll tell you what, there have been a couple of times he has gotten back there, and by the time Mac Lee looks to make his first progression, he's already got to make an adjustment on the fly. You're going up against a first-year quarterback. You want to get him uncomfortable. Josiah Monday doing a heck of a job towards that effort.
From the 41, 4th down and 7 for the Mustangs. They are into Southeast territory, but a big 4th down here, and Southeast is going to jump off sides. Josiah Monday could not hold his waters. He came across the line of scrimmage there, and he's going to give the Mustangs a free 5. That'll move the football to the 36 and make it 4th and short.
And that was a little bit too fast for his own good right there. You wonder if, obviously set up and seeing out there is Josiah Monday set up against Mason Faith over there on the left side. As soon as I just say that, he switches to the other side of the field. And now they're going to bring him down, and it looks like Josiah Monday's in the linebacker position here.
4th down and 2. A lot of receivers moving around here for Rock Creek. Looks like they're going to settle in with 5, 3 on the left, 2 on the right, and now a timeout called by the Mustangs as they are discombobulated to start for this play. First time out of the first half for the Mustangs. 9:24 left to go here in the second quarter. 6-0, Southeast of Saline. Here's a 30-second timeout.
Sometimes you just got to get out and play. Summer may be winding down, but now is the time to get out and have fun with paintball. Elite Sports playing field just south of Salina has acres and acres of fun waiting just for you. Elite Sports also has a cage of paintball fun with artificial turf. Paintball fun for everyone. Family, kids, groups, sports teams, and team building. Coming to Elite Sports in October is an event you won't want to miss. Protect yourself and your friends against the zombie invasion. Visit zombieexpedition.com and learn more how to save yourself now.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
Some scores to pass along to you through the Bennington State Bank scoreboard for the first time this season. Of course, the Mayor's Cup going on in Salina. Right now, Salina Central leads Salina South at the end of one, 19-7. Also, Andale, we always keep an eye on them, of course. They're up on Wellington at the end of one, 40-8. Yeah, that's right.
You just always wonder what it's going to be when they're playing.
It's just that machine just keeps moving on. Mound Ridge leads El Saline at the end of the first quarter, 20-0. Those are some early checks of the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Some good games tonight. Not only South Central, but Ellsworth and Beloit. Also South and Central. Minneapolis at Republic County, Concordia and Chapman, Wamego and Clay Center. There's a lot of really good matchups for week number 1. Here's 3 receivers stacked over on the left and a football that goes off the left shoulder of Cameron Whitty and then pops up into the air, and that will be a turnover on downs as Rock Creek trying to go for it there. They had a receiver, but just a poor throw out of the backfield by Mac Lee, and it's batted down and a turnover on downs. That ball will go to Southeast.
And it's hard to set your feet and throw when you got 3 defensive linemen in your face, and we talk about it a lot. It was heavy last year up front. But these 3 starting this game early through the first half and now the first part of the second quarter, just playing absolutely phenomenal up front.
Southeast of Saline established a great rhythm on offense that last drive. Let's see if they can keep that going. That led to a touchdown. Let's see if they can do that again and follow it up. 2 receivers on the left, 1 on the right. The low snap, and here's Nate Friesen. He breaks it out to the 40, 45, and then spun around and took out of bounds at about the 48-yard line. First big play by Nathan Friesen of 13 yards here in the second quarter.
And maybe that's something that Southeast can get going now. Get Friesen the ball, let him get outside, let him get some yardage, maybe get that engine going a little bit, as now they're going to go empty backfield.
There is a slot man here with Evan Watkins. Cameron Whitty will go in motion. They'll fake it to Whitty. Kerr keeps it, breaks a tackle behind the line of scrimmage. He's into the second level and a first down for Southeast. Back-to-back first down carries. The first one by 13 for Friesen. This one by 12 for Daniel Kerr.
And a great job up front right there, holding on just long enough. Kerr able to break one tackle, and that was all that needed. Next contact wasn't made till 10 yards down the field.
To the 40-yard line in Mustang territory. It's the first time we've seen Southeast of Saline go from right to left. They're operating now from south to north. First down and 10, nose of the football at the 40-yard line. 8:49 left to go here in the second quarter. Long delay here, looking over to the offensive sideline. Now Kerr will take the snap, design quarterback run, skips through the line of scrimmage, and that barrel roll is going to pick up about 4 yards, make it 5.
It looked like it might have been Nate Friesen over there. Just a great kick-out block that allowed Kerr to get to that second level. And a great job, once again, picking up 3-4 yards of play.
36-yard line now is the spot. It looks like that rhythm has continued here for Southeast. They've found something here, Russ, on their offensive side. 3 wide receivers this time to the left. Grady Gebhardt in the backfield. He's going to go out to the left and come back, get the handoff on a counter play. Half first down yardage, still fighting with a linebacker from Rock Creek, and Grady's going to take him for a ride to the 29. 7 yards for Grady Gebhardt and another Trojan first down.
And Grady's not one you're going to arm tackle. Just the linebacker kind of reached out and grabbed a hold of him, and Grady keeps those legs going. Not a very tall running back, but from the waist down, just extremely strong in the legs and hitting the weight room, and carried him about 3 yards.
You know, Grady's had 3 older brothers that he's been watching to see how to do this. This is the first one, though, that has a chance to be a really elite running back. All the rest of them have been spread out, quarterbacks, wide receivers, whatever needed to be done. Here's Grady on the pitch, left-hand side, gets hit, stood up, bounces off the would-be tackler, and still takes it to the 20. Rock Creek's tackler came up, McAlee, and collided with Grady Gebhardt. Gebhardt brushed him off like he was a gnat.
Yeah, and McAlee checking himself out of the game right there. A huge collision. Looks like maybe holding to his left shoulder, but Grady they just stalemated, and Grady won that battle by getting an extra 4 yards on that carry.
That's unreal. 2nd down and 2 after the 8-yard gain. Friesen back in there. Here's the quick pitch to Thaxton. He's been electric on the edge tonight. Steps into the inside, comes back to the outside, goes to the 15, and moves the chains for Southeast of Saline after a gain of 3.
And a great job right there by Thaxton, knowing he put a move on, just get to the outside, knowing where the first down sticks are. Don't try to cut that thing back up into the middle where everybody's flowing to. Just get the first down and go out.
4 catches, 71 yards here in the first half for Tucker Thaxton. You remember he got off to a hot start last year. And then in one of the games, it might have been the 3rd game of the season, had a crucial fumble and just kind of sent him off kilter.
Yeah,
he just wasn't the same after that.
Yeah, got in his head a little bit.
He is having a sensational start, though, here to his junior year. First down and 10. Kerr, a little stutter step, wants to keep it, goes right between 2 Mustangs, and he's going to take it all the way down to the 9-yard line and gets 6 yards. Boy, that was a crafty little run by Daniel Kerr.
And what I'm noticing here now is the offensive line is now starting to get in a better rhythm, allowing more holes, winning that battle at the line of scrimmage, because in that first quarter, it was the defensive lines on both sides of the ball that won every play.
2nd down and 5 for Southeast of Saline. They are inside of the Can-Equip red zone here at the 9-yard line. Empty backfield. Now Friesen will join Kerr. They get it to Friesen. He has some work to do, though, as he is going to be hit back at the original line of scrimmage, and it's a loss of 5. That thing was poorly blocked and just really took a lot of time to get that play developed.
Yeah, and it looked like he was stopped in front of the 15-yard line, and that's where forward progress was stopped, but they're going to take him on almost the 16-yard line.
Southeast, though, still safely inside that Case IH red zone, brought to you by Can-Equip in Salina. See them in South Salina for all your implements. 3rd down and 10 for Southeast of Saline at the 15-yard line. Empty backfield for Kerr. He wants to roll to his left. Looking, has that ball about shoulder height. Wants to throw it late for Thaxton, and Thaxton's momentum is going to carry him out of bounds. He made the catch at the 5, but he was well out of bounds, and that will bring up a 4th down for the Trojans.
And he tried. He knew where the out-of-bounds line was. He tried to get his foot down. Maybe if he was about 6'3", his legs were a little longer, he could have toe-tapped, but a great effort right there. Kerr holding on to the ball till the absolute last minute.
So we'll see what Southeast wants to do here as they want to talk about it. They are going to take their first time out. 5:43 left to go. Trojans lead at 6-0. A crucial fourth down. When we come back, it's Trojan football.
The Appliance Center. It's where you go to shop for washers, dryers, kitchen appliances, furniture, pellet grills, TVs, and so much more. If you are looking for a local, family-owned business, visit the Appliance Center. We're in the big red and white building on South Broadway in Salina. Come experience the Appliance Center difference.
Salina Post and KINA, your home for all things Trojan. The Southeast of Saline Trojan sports stream live on the Salina Post, and you can always listen at 910 AM, 107.5 FM, or at 910KINA.com.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
6-0 Southeast of Saline. They lead Rock Creek in what's been a really, really good high school football game here. Of course, week one, they're always good, right? We're just so anxious to get back. Everybody loves football and to be back at the stadium. A good crowd by Southeast of Saline, of course, making the trip. But if you happen to be at home listening or watching along SalinaPost.com, thank you. We really appreciate it, and so do our sponsors. Hope you can get out and support almost all of them, if not all. Ball sitting at the 15-yard line, just outside of the 15, as Russ said. And it's 4th down and 10. Daniel Kerr. The football into the end zone. It's going to be broke up, and another flag as Cameron Whitty had a Rock Creek Mustang draped all over him. Now we may have 2 defensive penalties or an offsetting situation.
Well, you wonder if there's a formation lineup because they didn't blow the play dead. So either there was lined up in the neutral zone inside or a formation, not enough men on the line of scrimmage. But that pass interference play was in the end zone. So if, as we're going to get the call right here, is illegal formation.
So those penalties will offset, and we will replay the down. 4th down again for Southeast of Saline. Rock Creek's defense trying to stand up here and keep this a one-possession game. Southeast of Saline trying to edge further ahead here as we creep even closer to halftime. At halftime, we will talk to the best cross-country coach in the state, Wade Castleman. And his guys and girls off to a great start once again. We'll talk about all that. It went down yesterday in Abilene. Empty backfield for Daniel Kerr. Low snap. He has to pick it up off the turf at his ankles, and he is sacked, drops the football. Now it's back about the 30-yard line and saved by Josiah Monday. Not only is this going to be a turnover on downs for Southeast of Saline, but Tyler Henry, Southeast of Saline, just lost 15 yards on that play.
Yeah, and that's huge because obviously you're giving the ball right back to Rock Creek. There's still plenty of time on the clock, 5:31, and we talk about this an awful lot, guys.
And he was sacked, then lost the football. It could have been a scoop and score for the Mustangs, but Southeast did a really good job of covering that up. Here's Mac Lee now back in there at quarterback. Actually, they have switched it. Rosa is coming in at quarterback, and he throws an 11-yard reception to Brandon Cranebell.
And this is something we all talked about on the way up here. We thought we might see 2 quarterbacks often in this game, as now you get 2/3 of the way through the second quarter and you see Rosa come in at quarterback.
It might have been more of a necessity than a convenience, though, for Rock Creek, because we saw Mac Lee come out kind of hanging that shoulder after that big collision when he tried to tackle Grady Gebhardt. 5 minutes left to go. Up to the 42-yard line is Rock Creek. Rosa lets one rip down the middle, and it's too high. Nobody there for Rock Creek as it sails over the head of Craneville once again. A couple of defensive players in the area for Southeast, but nobody had a chance to pick that one off.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was going to catch it coming off the hands of Rosa. That thing was a frozen rope across the middle of the field.
1 for 2 starting out here for Gavin Rosa. He's a sophomore. 6'3", 180 pounds. Mac Lee, more the dual threat quarterback, as described by Rock Creek head coach Shane Sieben. Rosa, more of the passer, as we have seen him rip 2 here down the seam early on in his entry to this game. Rosa now back to pass again. 5-step drop, gets it to the receiver on the crossing route, and that's going to go nowhere. Arrested right away by Nathan Friesen after the catch was made by Elijah Bell. They'll get 1 yard.
Yeah, Friesen with absolute great coverage right there, following Bell across the middle of the field. As soon as the ball was caught, Friesen was on top of him, tackling him.
3rd down and 9. Mustangs back here at their own 43-yard line. 3 receivers on the right. Here comes pressure from Southeast. Rosa hit hard. The reception made. Flags fly on the play. And now Rock Creek running it over to the right-hand side of the 45-yard line. A lot of things going on there. More than one flag down on the play. Josiah as Grady Gebhardt came in and bent Gavin Rosa in half, and that ball popped straight up in the air.
Yeah, and they're going to call pass interference out there, which it was close, just like the last one. But they missed a blindside block. Gannon Jacobson let's
go down to Tyler.
Right on that play, Daniel Kerr actually knocked that ball out of the air, but in his effort to knock it down, it just hit the football in an unfortunate spot, popped it back up, and it found the receiver's hand. So that was coming off of coverage.
They are going to call pass interference here against Southeast of Saline. They are going to decline that and take the result of the play, which is a first down. So the football's sitting right now tucked just inside of the 45-yard line. It was a gain of 12 yards.
Tough break right there for Southeast of Saline. Really good coverage. Just knocked it right back into the hands.
And it's Brandon Craneville once again for Rock Creek. First down at the 45 as they moved into Trojan territory. Throwback here will go to Elijah Bell, and Bell will knock it to about 3 yards on the gain, down to about the 40. Well, they're going to spot at the 43. It'll be a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, and the coaching staff for Southeast of Saline, very, I will just say, on top of things over there, as there seems to be a lot going on down on the field.
2 timeouts left here for Rock Creek. We've got to start looking at the clock. 3:42 left to go here in the second quarter. They are in Southeast territory at the 43-yard line. Here's Rosa. Looked like early movement by Rock Creek, and the officials did get this. It will be a procedure penalty here against the Mustangs. So that will back them up now to the 48-yard line, and that does not help the offensive efforts of the Mustangs.
Yeah, and it's almost the receivers, they could have got any one of them right there, but it's almost like there's a delay in the snap. The receivers are taking off and got one step, and then the ball comes.
Yeah, it's not the first time we've seen that.
No, it's been happening almost all game. So I don't know now maybe if they can get on top of it. Southeast has got to come up with a stand right here.
From the 48 after the penalty, second down and 15 for the Mustangs. 3.5 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Southeast leads 6-0. Rosa backpedaling his whole way. Now finds a receiver. It's Christensen coming through. He was very active in the first quarter. Hasn't done much here in the second quarter, but he's going to take this one to the 39-yard line. It's a gain of 9 coming out of the backfield for Trevor Christensen.
And once again, a great timely play call of that middle screen. We saw that early in the first quarter that resulted in about the same yardage.
Gavin Rosa coming in here in relief, 4 of 6 already throwing the football. 5 of 6, making out 5 of 7 as he misses the mark on this play. That'll stop the clock with 2:57 left to go, and a 4th down and 5 now all of a sudden for the Mustangs. Football sitting at the 39. Big play here in this first half. Southeast leading by a touchdown. Rock Creek trying to keep this drive alive. 4th down and 5. Rosa back to pass. Has a receiver right in the middle of the field. Good coverage by Gannon Jacobson, but that battle was just won by a bigger receiver in Dagan Venduska as he is able to use his body and get that catch. Dagan is 6'3", 180 pounds, and you could tell on that play, but there is a flag in the backfield.
And hopefully it's got to be holding on the outside right there. It looked like Brody Chambers absolutely had a beat on the quarterback and then all of a sudden just wasn't going anywhere, and that looks like it's what it's going to be called.
So they're going to wipe off that effort by Dagan Venduska. As a beautiful catch. Jacobson did nothing wrong there from a safety spot. He just lost the battle that time. But this penalty is going to be almost fatal here for Rock Creek because they're going to be backed up all the way to the 49-yard line. It was a line of scrimmage penalty. They're going to lose 10 yards. So now we'll go to a 4th and 15. We've seen them pick up 3rd and 4th down conversions before, but they're going to punt this one away. They bring Elijah Bell on. Bell takes the snap, puts a high kick that does not have very much length on it at all, and this could be dangerous for everyone as the ball will take a Mustang bounce, a big Mustang bounce, and die just inside of the 20-yard line. So first down for Southeast as they come out. Their defense does the job, but field position has been flipped here as that punt by Elijah Bell, who looked like maybe a 12-yard punt, also got a 20-yard roll.
Yeah, it's exactly where it did. It landed at the 40-yard line and rolled clear down to the 20. So Southeast, two timeouts now to go with 2:36 left in the first half. Still a lot of options open right here, and we haven't seen if Daniel Kerr can air it out and throw that deep ball. Of course, they haven't really tried. There hasn't been a necessity really to throw it deep yet.
Remember, as we go around the corner starting the third quarter, Rock Creek's scheduled to get the football to start second half. Empty backfield here for Daniel Kerr, has 3 wide receivers to the left-hand side, drops the low snap again. Now he's going to take off and run. He goes to the right. This will be a positive play for Southeast of Saline as Kerr is taken down after an 8.5-yard gain. Boy, those snaps ankle high. I know some teams plan on that. Some quarterbacks like that. I don't know exactly what the situation is, but it seems like there's a lot of snaps that are going to the grass.
Yeah, and we saw this early last year, too, in the first game against Rock Creek. We saw the ball on the ground a lot getting back to Luke Gebhardt, and now seems the same result with Kerr back there.
And then we didn't have a bad snap the rest of the year.
Yes.
This one, Kerr kind of drops again, bobbles it. It's going to come out here in the flat to Friesen. He's going to make an extra move, get another yard, but then he's going to pay for it after he has a herd of Mustangs take him out of bounds at the 31-yard line. It will be of Southeast of Saline, first down.
It looks like maybe one little cramping going on the far side of the field already. Not good when you see it this early, but Southeast is going to have to pick up the pace here. It's 1:55.
Out to the 30 for Southeast of Saline. Still have 2 timeouts remaining. Low snap again. They'll bring it out to Thaxton. Thaxton on the edge is going to be taken out of bounds for no gain. Maybe got a yard.
And the clock's going to continue running here as they're going to deem forward progress was stopped inbounds. So bring up 2nd and long here. And you just wonder how much timing is getting thrown off on these quick out routes when Kerr's having to go down to the field to pick up the ball.
Tucker Thaxton with 5 catches already here in this game. From the 31, 2nd down and 9. Pistol formation, Grady Gebhardt in the backfield. Here's Thaxton again, quick little out. Had 5 yards, then he ran backwards a little bit. He'll get that back, and the clock will continue to move after a gain of about 6. Looked like somebody came across his face mask there.
Yeah, it's exactly what it almost looked like. And now we take under a minute. Still 2 timeouts in the bag for Southeast of Saline.
From the 37, it is 3rd down and 4. Kerr, empty backfield, rolls out to the right, has to get around a would-be tackler. He cannot get away, and he goes down to a knee back at the 25. It's a loss of 12 on a quarterback sack.
You wondered if this was going to come. Rock Creek now is going to take a timeout that will force Southeast of Saline into a punt.
4th down and 4. Now looks like a 4th and 16 as we go down on the field to Tyler Henry.
Yeah, guys, not 100% sure. Obviously, they're trying to get the passing yards picked up on that play, but Nathan Friesen getting stretched out over on the sideline, unavailable at the very least on those last couple of plays. You got to think at the very least, it gives Rock Creek one less guy to worry about on that Southeast offense.
Thank you very much. Update on the sideline brought to you from Tyler Henry by Salina Ortho. 4th and 16 coming up. Now the football back at about the 26-yard line after that loss of 12.
So that'll leave Rock Creek with just 1 timeout remaining. And depending on where this punt goes, assuming it's going to be Evan Watkins back there to kick this ball, see if he can. Not sure if the wind's still playing a factor. The flags don't look like they're moving near as much at all as they were before.
That wind almost went away completely. So Evan Watkins will be back here at his heels at about the 10-yard line. As he settles in, they will put Christensen back deep along with Dawson Rankin for Rock Creek. They will be standing between their own 40 and 35-yard lines. Again, 42 seconds left to go. 1 timeout here for Rock Creek as Evan Watkins will be waiting on the snap. Good snap back to Watkins. He'll put his foot into this one. End-over-end kick that wobbles over the right-hand side hash, and then it's going to come to rest at about the 46-yard line. So 54 yards in front of Rock Creek here with 1 timeout left to go, 33.2 seconds left to play. As we've had 2 punts, and I think we need to give a shout-out to the long snapper on the punts. That's Trayton Olson.
Yeah, and those snaps are real good to Evan Watkins, and I think that's about the best result you can ask for in that punt in this situation. You don't want to give the returners a chance getting this far down into the second quarter, but also maximizing the effort and now putting them on their own side of the ball.
47-yard line. 53 yards in front of them. Gavin Rosa stays in there. Wants to go down the left-hand side. Wants it all. It's up for grabs, and it's knocked away by Gannon Jacobson. It was a bracket coverage that time. The defensive back, the corner on that side, with Elijah Bell was Tucker Thaxton for Southeast of Saline, and then Jacobson came over at the last second. Those two collectively might have knocked that ball away.
Yeah, because Elijah Bell made a great move to go inside of one, and Jacobson came over and knocked it. But Elijah Bell with a great job right there of adjusting his route to try and go get the football.
Clock will stop after that incomplete pass. 27.7 seconds left to play here in the first half. Second down and 10 again. Rosa back to pass. Here's a pressure this time on the outside. He'll step up, though, in the middle of the field. There's Venduska. Venduska still yet to go down, and he's going to make it all the way to the 30-yard line. So Venduska to the 30 picks up 23 yards.
And the clock was going to stop until the chains were set. But Rock Creek instantly took that timeout as soon as the whistle was blown. So now Rock Creek with no timeouts left and 30 yards to go to get into the end zone.
I saw players on the field asking for that timeout, and I don't know if they meant to do that or maybe you saw coaches doing it.
There was two coaches on the sideline chasing the official down. They were about midfield.
So, Tyler, this puts you in a really rough spot here, doesn't it? Just 19 seconds left. You still have 30 yards in front of you. Now you're out of timeouts.
Yeah, out of timeouts. I mean, if you do end up not getting out of bounds on this next play, you might be able to hustle to the line and get that, but you cannot guarantee yourself that ball is going to be set in time for you to get another snap off. So probably looking for something quick to the sideline. I will say I've been impressed with the arm that we've seen out of Rosa so far. He's been able to throw it deep with accuracy. Wouldn't be surprised if we see him try to take that shot to the sideline and then set up a home run ball on the last play of the half.
You almost, if you're going to go to the middle of the field and not play the sidelines, you almost have to get first downs, right? You have to rely on that chain move to stop the clock.
Absolutely. Well, and that's the beautiful thing, though. If you do pick up 10 yards here, it's like a bonus timeout to get yourself set. You're not going to have all that time tick off the clock. You can get 2 or 3 more plays off here.
6-0, Southeast of Saline. They're trying to take that lead into halftime as Rock Creek trying to make that change from the 30. The Mustangs have the football in Southeast of Saline territory. First down and 10. Gavin Rosa back to pass. Under pressure. Monday gets pushed in the back. Rosa steps up, has a guy, and they take it out of bounds at the 15-yard line over on the right hash. It's Christensen with a gain of 15. Beautifully done to stop the clock by the Mustangs.
Yeah, and a great thrown ball there by Rosa. Just put it right on the outside. Christensen able to get 2 feet down, even though you only need 1, and knowing that he had to get out of bounds with 13.9 seconds left.
From the 15, first down and 10. Mustangs with 13.9 seconds. Nathan Friesen will go from one side to the other. Good thing to see him back out there as we reported he was being stretched out. 4 wide receivers on the left-hand side. Big push up the middle. Rosa steps up. It is knocked away in the end zone by Whitty and Jacobson. And then coming in diving for the football was Kerr. Nearly had an interception in the end zone, but the ball hits the turf incomplete with 8.5 seconds left to go here in the second.
Yeah, Rosa trying to force that one in there and a bunch of white jerseys around that ball. Fortunate for Rock Creek, it was not intercepted, but it does stop the clock with just under 9 seconds left.
So everybody's attention on the Rock Creek side of things, looking over at their sideline, seeing what to do here offensively. They will set up with 2 wide receivers on each side. Evan Becker, the running back, in the pistol formation behind Rosa. Second down and 10. Here's a sack by Southeast, and that's going to end the half. Josiah Monday comes in and takes Rosa down back at the 27-yard line. 3rd sack of the game for Southeast of Saline's defense, and that's going to preserve the first half lead as we hit halftime. What a play by Monday.
Yeah, absolute great job right there by Josiah Monday to come up huge to end the first half, just like he has beat this whole game. Just with his hair on fire, comes through, sheds 1 block, and able to get him as we await Coach Gebhardt down with Tyler Henry here in just a few seconds.
Tyler will talk to Coach. Brought to you by Frisbee Construction. Get his thoughts at halftime. We will have Wade Castleman join us. We will also have a check of your Bennington State Bank scoreboard and stats from the first half as we are at halftime. And what a good half of football. 6-0. Southeast of Saline takes their 1 touchdown, the only touchdown that was scored in the first half of play, into the locker room, and they have a 6-point lead. Let's go down on the sideline as Mitch Gebhardt is approaching Tyler. Tyler, take it away.
Coach, really quickly here at the half, 6-0. Gotta love the 0 on the scoreboard. Your defense, what a first half of play this season.
Yeah, it really is. And we fumble the ball down here and put a young defense like that and pressure it. They really stepped up there.
Couple of big turnovers on your side, couple of big turnovers on their side. What are you looking for improvement-wise out of your offense in the second half?
I hate to say this, but it looks like a first game. You know what I mean?
Sure.
We just got to clean some stuff up. We missed some blocks. We fumbled to put the ball on the ground, dropped a pass. Just things like that we can't do to beat a good ball team like this.
Sounds good. Coach, thank you. Good luck in the second half. Guys, we're done here. Back to you.
Very nice. Tyler Henry on the sideline, courtesy of Frisbee Construction. When we come back, we will be joined by Wade Castleman. We'll get all up to date on the 2023 Southeast of Saline cross-country squads, and we will also see how they did yesterday in their first outing at Abilene at the Abilene Invitational. Halftime is here. It's brought to you by our friends at Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories. We'll be back with more. It's Wade Castleman after the break. Southeast of Saline leads it here at the break, 6-0 from Rock Creek on KINA.
Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories. Everything to bling out your ride in one place, including top quality lift kits, wheels and tires, bumpers, Jeep accessories, fender flares, bed covers, bed liners, step bars, even custom painting. Knopf Auto is the and soil dealer and has many synthetics and filters in stock. Visit Knopf Auto on Facebook for specials, great ideas, and let them make your truck stick out in a crowd. Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories, supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
For a century, the Farmall tractor transformed farming generation after generation. Today, legacy Farmall tractors and modern ones are found all around the world. Still incredibly reliable, still all-purpose as ever. To celebrate 100 years of Farmall, Case IH is giving away a Farmall Utility 75C tractor and $15,000. Join the celebration and enter for your chance to win. For contest details, contact CanEquip in Salina.
Citizens State Bank has been serving Kansans for over 100 years. We are a full-service bank that can service your personal, business, and agricultural lending and deposit needs. Citizens State Bank offers 24/7 convenience with mobile deposit, online banking, and our ATM conveniently located in front of the building. Stop by and see our friendly and helpful staff. Citizens State Bank at 600 Maple Street in Gypsum, Kansas. Citizens State Bank and Trust Company is a proud supporter of the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
Home Automotive Center in Abilene and Salina has been named Dealer Rater in 2023 for Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. What's that mean? It means when you buy a vehicle at Home Automotive, you will receive the absolute best in service now for the 11th consecutive year in Abilene and the first for the new Salina location. Home Automotive just keeps exceeding your expectations because you are the number one priority, and that is just one reason why. When you shop at Home Automotive Center in Abilene and Salina, you're going to be glad you did.
It's third down and 8 for the Trojans. They really need to make the right call here.
During the football game, it's crucial to make the right call. And in real estate, one call can bring a positive outcome from your real estate experience. Whether you're looking for real property, upsizing to make room for the family, downsizing, or acquiring investment property, call Winnell Garrettson at SalinaHomes.com.
What a call! Touchdown, Trojan!
Buy or sell, call Winnell.
This is the Trojan Halftime Report. Coming up, a first half recap, stats, interviews, and a look at other area games. Let's head back to the stadium for Trojan Halftime on KINA.
Back here at halftime, Southeast of Saline getting a brand new sports season and a brand new school year underway over the last couple of weeks. And with that comes one of the best cross-country teams and one of the best cross-country coaches in the state, and that's Wade Castleman. Coach, boy, it just doesn't seem like a whole year has flown by since we were doing this a year ago, but here we are. You have a brand new squad. You're ready for the 2023 season, and you already seen your first action. You were in Abilene yesterday running at the meet there in Abilene. We'll touch on that, but first, how's everything going for you? I know it's kind of different in the summer and starting school, and you're always aware of the weather and the temperature. How are things?
We're off to a good start. Last week we had to deal with heat quite a bit like everybody else did, and so we adjusted and did morning workouts last week, and that helped us, be able to have a little more intense workout than if we had to modify because of the heat in the afternoon. But this week we were back into, regular after-school practices and wanted the kids to get, reacclimated a little bit to the heat and everything. Abilene yesterday at the meet, it was warm once again, but
I thought our kids adjusted well and were acclimated well. We ran full race distances yesterday and thought our kids did very well.
It always amazes me with your squad, and it seems like we talk about this a lot, Coach, just adversity, whether it's in small doses or large doses, and things out of your control, too. Sometimes where you run, sometimes the weather, and it just seems like you always have kids that are willing to do whatever it takes to overcome that adversity. Do you see that in this year's squad as well?
I really do. And, we've had some warm practices after school, and not once, have I heard anybody complain, oh, my gosh, it's too hot, to practice. And, the kids just, hey, we need to come, we need to take care of business and go business as usual as much as we can. So, and the kids do that.
Let's look at your girls squad this year first. We always go ladies first. And this is a girls squad coming off of a state title and coming off of a couple in a row now, as they have been really dominant in Class 3A cross country. What does your women's squad look like this year for the Lady Trojans?
It's been really strong. We had some new faces. We lost several to graduation and everything. And, having a junior high program and, right here on campus with us, we knew what we had coming up, and we had a new positive addition, one of the freshmen coming out for cross country for the first time. And, we knew that they would be impact runners right away. And they proved that to us yesterday.
This is a young squad, isn't it? As I look down your roster for this year on the girls' side, you don't have a lot of upperclassmen.
No, we only have 2 seniors out this year, but it's 2 quality seniors, Brooklyn Adams and Sadie Franklin. They've been stable for us the last 3 years, and Sadie, unfortunately, last year fought some injuries that kind of slowed her season down a little bit. Yeah, they provide good leaderships. The kids look to them and everything, and it's good having those veterans on your squad.
As you talked about first meet of the season yesterday in Abilene, and as we're talking about the girls and this year, let's talk about their performance. 1, 2, 3. The first 3 runners that came across the line were all Southeast of Saline runners. 6 of the top 10 Southeast of Saline ladies. It was just a dominant performance as you guys go on to win the team title. 23 points for Southeast of Saline. Sacred Heart was in second with twice as many points. They had 50 points. Abilene was 73. Chapman in fourth with 93. Your girls' performance yesterday speaks volumes for, I think, where this team is headed. What do you think?
I agree with that. They ran well yesterday. It was a smaller meet, not a lot of teams there, but, you still have to get out and get the job done. And, our girls, the gun went off and they were ready to run, and there was purple up at the front right away, and it was good to see. I thought Sadie Franklin ran one of her best races that I've seen her run over the last 3 years. Thought Abby Comerford ran a very good race for her. She won the individual title yesterday as well. And Anna Jackson, who's a freshman for us, gun went off and she wasn't afraid to take the lead, and she led the majority of that race until, I think it was the last mile, and when Abby caught her and everything. For a freshman to have that kind of confidence is big. And Piper Brown, who was third for us yesterday, her first cross-country meet ever, and she played volleyball in junior high and decided to make the switch. She had a very successful junior high track season, and she's going to come on strong, I think, later in the season, even stronger when she realizes, how to run the races each and every week.
Talking here at halftime with Wade Castleman about Southeast of Saline cross country. Coach, let's look now at the boys' side for the Trojans this year. Again, a really good squad for you last year in 2022. What's this year's roster look like?
We have a lot of returning lettermen, and, we lost some quality runners in Damian Jackson and Nakari Morkel-Palmer. The Walker brothers are running very well right now. Jacob Bircher, he ran very well last year. Levi Allen, he didn't run yesterday. We held him out, but, Levi is actually our top returning guy from cross country from last year. So, yeah, those are going to be our 4 solid guys, and we're trying to get an identity. Our 5th runner is probably going to be Ben Gerholtz, who's a senior this year. And, he's just getting some varsity experience for the first time. And Isaiah Kerr is returning for us. And so I think, those guys will get it figured out. Cole Franklin, who's a freshman for us this year, he ran very well yesterday. I was very pleased with how he ran, especially for his first high school meet. And he worked hard over the summer and put a lot of miles in, and it really showed yesterday.
Just like the ladies on the guys' side, Trojans go 1, 2, 3. They have 4 people in the top 10, and that propelled them. Even without Levi Allen, as you said, he did not run yesterday. Still, Southeast of Saline gets the team title with 32 points. Chapman is second with 56. Marion in third with 68. Then Abilene, Sacred Heart, and Sullivan falling up from there. So a successful outing, needless to say. Can't say any more than that about the outing yesterday in Abilene. What's next for the Trojan cross country team?
We are off until a week from Saturday. We go to the Wamego Invitational, which always provides great competition. We actually will run in the 4A division like we've done the last couple years, which, pushes us to that next level. And we feel confident that we can be very competitive at the 4A level, even though, we're a 3A school, but we like to see that tougher competition, which only helps us later in the season when it gets down to crunch time.
Well, Coach, congratulations on your first outing and getting into a brand new season. We'll be talking to you, of course, all fall long. It doesn't seems kind of saying fall right now with the way the weather is this weekend. But again, I'm sure your runners are looking forward to it no matter what the temperature is. And we look forward to talking to you at halftime throughout the whole season.
Thank you very much, Devin. We appreciate it.
Back with more Trojan halftime football. It's here on KINA.
Knauf Auto and Truck Accessories. Everything to bling out your ride in one place, including top quality lift kits, wheels and tires, bumpers, Jeep accessories, fender flares, bed covers, bed liners, step bars, even custom painting. Knauf Auto is the and soil dealer and has many synthetics and filters in stock. Visit Knauf Auto on Facebook for specials, great ideas, and let them make your truck stick out in a crowd. Knauf Auto and Truck Accessories, supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
The Nissan Summer Event is your chance to save big on your new Nissan. Get up to $5,500 off the luxurious 2023 Nissan Armada, up to $4,000 off, and 0% financing on the 2023 Nissan Murano. Lease a new Ultimate SV as low as $350 per month. Check out the line of Nissan trucks and save up to $5,000 off. And don't forget about the 6th Annual Abilene Oktoberfest, coming up September 15th and 16th in downtown Abilene. Presented in part by Marshall Motors.
When does normal acute pain become abnormal chronic pain? Chronic pain can be one of 2 types, nociceptive and neuropathic. Each type differs based on what causes it, what it feels like, and what treatments may relieve it. Neuropathic pain can often be managed by a therapy called neurostimulation or spinal cord stimulation. If you suffer from chronic pain, ask your primary care physician for a referral to the Salina Pain Clinic. Our pain specialist will discuss the right options to manage your pain. Online at salinapainclinic.org.
Stardust Trophy Downtown Salina has all the cool football medals and trophies your team needs for its players when their practice session pays off in big wins. Choose from tons of trophy styles and customize it exactly as you want. Stardust Trophy even has special trophies just for fantasy football leagues. Just for fun, choose football bobblehead trophies. Got an autographed or special football? Show it off in a special acrylic showcase from Stardust Trophy. 121 South Santa Fe, downtown Salina.
Does your free checking put more cash in your account? Does it give you free access to ATMs nationwide? If not, tap into super-powered free Kasasa Cash Banking Checking at the Bank of Tesket. Visit bankoftesket.com to learn more. Qualifications, rules, and limitations apply. Rates, rewards, and restrictions may vary by account. Contact the Bank of Tesket for details. Member FDIC.
We're growing your way. We're the Bank of Tesket.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Welcome back here to the Rock. It's Rock Creek High School as we are at halftime. 6-0, brought to you by Knauf Auto and Truck Accessories. Southeast of Saline with the lead. And boy, just kind of not a riddled first half with turnovers, but Southeast had a couple of fumbles. Rock Creek had a fumble, total of 3. And Southeast of Saline with a 6-0 lead. As we check the numbers from the first half, Citizens State Bank in downtown Gypsum, and Trojans Bank, and that is in downtown Gypsum at Citizens State Bank. For Southeast of Saline in that first half, throwing the football, Daniel Kerr had 13 completions. He attempted 16 passes, and he hits the halftime mark with 110 passing yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. His main target right now, Tucker Thaxton at the half, 6 catches, 78 yards. Nathan Friesen has 3 catches, also 3 catches for Evan Watkins, and a catch for Wyatt Boyd. Rushing the football so far, the leading rusher is Daniel Kerr, 8 carries, 38 yards. Grady Gebhardt has the lone touchdown in this game, 4 carries, 25 yards, and Nathan Friesen, 6 carries, 19 yards. For the Rock Creek Mustangs, they have had 2 quarterbacks come in and go for a combined 15 of 25. Very similar numbers between Mac Lee and Gavin Rosa. Mac Lee went 8 of 14 for 74 yards. Gavin Rosa went 7 of 11 for 73 yards. They have combined for 147 yards, while Rock Creek has mustered up just 1 yard rushing in this game. Total offense at halftime, 146 yards for the Mustangs of Rock Creek, 165 yards for the Southeast of Saline Trojans. That's our halftime stats, brought to you by Citizen State Bank in downtown Gypsum. When we come back after a 60-second timeout, we'll go over stats on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard, get you ready for third quarter action from the Rock here on KINA.
APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the Heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more, visit links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits. APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
Citizen State over years. We are a full service can service your personal, business, and agricultural lending and deposit needs. Citizen State Bank offers 24/7 convenience with mobile deposit, online banking, and our ATM conveniently located in front of the building. Stop by and see our friendly and helpful staff. Citizen State Bank at 600 Maple Street in Gypsum, Kansas. Citizen State Bank and Trust Company is a proud supporter of the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Back here at the break, brought to you by Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories. Man, always fun to watch scores first week. Right, Russ? Let's check that Bennington State Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, as we go to the Bennington State Bank scoreboard and check, I believe all these games were at the half scores. Ellsworth and Beloit, Ellsworth 0-8, Beloit 8. Sacred Heart, Wichita Trinity, Sacred Heart over Wichita Trinity, 13-7. El Saline 6, Mound Ridge 32. Solomon 12, Rural Vista 30. Kind of a surprise there.
Battle of Dickinson County in the 8-man.
That's right. Wabaunsee, Troy, Wabaunsee up 30-12. Chapman, Concordia on top 13-6. Abilene over Marysville at the half, 14-6. Clay Center, Wamego, probably one of the top matchups in the state early on in this year. Clay Center 6, Wamego 7. And then the battle for the Governor's Cup, Salina Central 32, Salina South 7. And, of course, here at the Rock, it is Southeast of Saline 6, Rock Creek 0 as we get start to the second half.
I'm experiencing with some indirect lighting here. That's my experiment here at halftime as we get ready to start. Wyatt Boyd ready to put this football in the air for Southeast of Saline as they will deliver it off to the Rock Creek Mustangs with a 6-0 lead. Short kick here from Boyd. It's taken at the 15-yard line by Christensen. He'll start out in the middle, now bounce it out to the left, get more yardage, and then be drugged down at the 33-yard line by Malachi Hopkins. Good tackle there. I see him on the field more and more. Another youngster on this team. I have a feeling we're going to be talking more about just a sophomore.
A lot of snaps on offense out there as the wideout, as a far side wideout, is now the Southeast defense. Decent field position here to start the second half, and let's see if that front three, again, can continue the dominance up front.
Rock Creek will start out at their own 33-yard line. Here's the handoff coming through. Looks like Evan Becker has been getting more and more playing time out of the backfield. And he is going to get about 3 yards there on first down. He'll move it out to the 35-yard line. That is Becker's first carry of the game. He's been involved in the passing game, though, for the Rock Creek Mustangs.
They just tripled their yardage in the rushing game with that 3-yard carry.
Yeah, so just 1 yard at halftime. Rock Creek Going a little no huddle here. They're wearing wrist coaches. That we didn't see them utilize that a whole lot in the first half, but they are now. Here's the handoff to Becker. Had to spin off a would-be tackler in the backfield, and he is going to scratch and claw and fight for everything he has to get back to the line of scrimmage and then muster maybe 3/4 of a yard. 3rd down and 6 coming up.
Brody Chambers back there in the backfield early. If he's able to wrap up, that would go for a 3 to 4 yard loss. So a big 3rd down here early. Let's see if Josiah Monday on that outside can get pressure.
3rd and 6 for the Mustangs. Still playing 2 quarterbacks here as Mac Lee gets back in there, and they're going to throw a flag here against Southeast of Saline. I think somebody came up to fake blitz and then moved across the line of scrimmage, and they're going to throw a flag here on Southeast of Saline.
Yeah, and it looked like that might have been Evan Watkins there on the near side cornerback spot. So just unfortunate right there now to bring up 3rd down and only about
just one, yeah. It went from 3rd and 6 to 3rd and 1.
Maybe a half of a football here.
So see if Southeast can stand up here on this short yardage. Mac Lee's going to roll out to the right, try to throw it, and it goes up over the top of Christensen, but he snags it off the top of the helmet, and he's going to bring it down as he moves it into Southeast of Saline territory at the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 12 for Rock Creek.
Yeah, and he paid for that going up and getting the football coming down on the far side of the field over there. So given a lot of space early once again, and we saw, Devin, that these out routes really for both teams was where the passing game really came together, just the short 5-yard out routes.
Christensen goes down, and he is still down on the Southeast of Saline sideline, but boy, what a catch there, and he is the leading receiver right now for Rock Creek with 5 catches for 49 yards. Some score updates for you as they keep rolling in. As games are hitting at halftime. We're even starting the 3rd quarter on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Minneapolis is rolling over Republic County. The Lions and Coach Flax up 27-0. 3 fumbles for Republic County so far in this game as Minneapolis is rolling over Republic County. And another cool event involving Minneapolis next week we want to tell you about, even though it does not involve Southeast of Saline. It did last year. Remember back week 2 last year, we went to Minneapolis and Bennington State Bank bought everybody's ticket and paid for their admission, and it was one of the best small school football atmospheres we've ever been a part of. They are doing that again next week. They are going to hook up everybody with an admission ticket. Bennington State Bank in Minneapolis next week for the Sacred Heart Minneapolis game. Bennington State Bank will pay your admission if you want to go to that game at the gate, and you can watch it for free, courtesy of Bennington State Bank and their night out at the stadium. Trying to coordinate some things here. I don't want to kind of say if it's going to happen or not, but trying to make that happen for a home game for Southeast. We'll keep you tuned up on that.
And Bennington State Bank really does good with all local schools and the youth around the whole area, always at events.
They are heavily involved even here at Rock Creek with their Wamego branch. 1st down and 10 for Rock Creek. Mac Lee rolling out, Josiah Monday giving chase, and this ball is going to be caught over here on the near side. Cameron Whitty there to try to knock it away, but it was caught and secured going down to the ground by the receiver there for Rock Creek.
And that's back-to-back pass plays where they are rolling the opposite way of where number 50, Josiah Monday, is lining up. So seemed to be a strategy there as going away from Josiah.
Hunter Procish, his first catch of the night. He's been the 6th Rock Creek receiver to catch a ball. Procish now will fake the jet sweep end around. Mac Lee will keep it. He will go to the 40-yard line and pick up about 3 yards on the play. That'll bring up 3rd down and 3.
And a little change on that play. They had Josiah Monday at nose guard and moved Deacon to the outside, so kind of moving Josiah back into the middle as now you don't know where they're going to line up as much movement as there is, as they're going to line him back up on the outside.
3rd and 3 from the 40. Mac Lee wants to take it. He runs right into Brody Chambers. Brody stands him up, but then the pile goes forward for about 3 yards. The referee coming in is standing right on the line to gain. It's either going to be 4th and short or 1st down, as they're going to look across here, and they're going to say 4th down, short by a football. Wow.
Yeah, if that, but looked like he was stopped for a 2 to 3 yard loss. So big stand right here on 4th down.
4th and inches here for Rock Creek as they push it into Southeast of Saline territory at the 37. One back in the backfield. It's Becker off the right hip of Mac Lee. Lee wants to roll out, wants to throw on 4th and inches, and it's going to be incomplete. Wow. What a play call from Rock Creek, and what a stand defensively. Tyler Henry by Southeast of Saline. Makes sense of this for me.
Yeah, I mean, they had that covered up all the way. It was a decent route, just a little quick out to the sideline to try to pick up the first down, but that ball underthrown just a little bit, and even if he had gotten it to the receiver, it would have been something much worse. Southeast had that route jumped from the very beginning.
So start with a turnover on downs for Rock Creek here to start, and Brandon Craneville, one of the main players on this team defensively and offensively, coming to the training table over here on the near side. Southeast will take over. First down and 10 at their own 37-yard line. Give to Friesen. He's going to explode into a tackler at the line of scrimmage and then twist his way to the 40. It's a gain of 3.
Yeah, and you saw in that drive where they had ran the ball, and, yeah, they get hit in the backfield, but they were getting 3-4 yards. It looked like Friesen's favoring that left leg, hopping off onto the sideline. Grady Gebhardt coming in is.
It's that time of year we never, ever want to say injury or any, because there's so many cramps going on right now. And Southeast has always kind of been the better conditioned team no matter who they're playing. So we'll hope that's a cramp, as Friesen has had some problems with that, I think, tonight. This is the second time or third time he's been over getting stretched out. Pitch out left-hand side to Grady Gebhardt. He'll get maybe a half a yard, no more than that. That is his 5th carry of the night. He has 25 yards and a touchdown, the lone touchdown in this game as the ball sits at the 40-yard line. 3rd down and 7 for Southeast of Saline.
And
go ahead.
Excuse me, another Rock Creek player over there kind of getting up slow, trying to make his way to the sideline.
Rock Creek has a TV monitor over here on their near side that it looks like all the coaches, I know it's not all, they got a ton of coaches, but 3-4 coaches over here, a couple of players after every offensive series looking at some video and what they see from the cameras set up in the end zones.
It's Trevor Christensen again coming off the field and just taking a seat on the sideline.
3rd down and 7 from the 40-yard line. Here comes a guy in motion for Southeast. Care's going to fake the handoff, then turn and roll away. Go down the sideline. It's a jump ball situation. It's going to be caught. Wyatt Boyd just went up and mussed the defensive back for Rock Creek, and he's going to score. He goes the distance, made the catch at the 35, and then finished it from there. He won the jump ball, and he's going to score for Southeast of Saline. 60 yards for the Trojans.
What a play right there by Tucker Thaxton to go up, high point the football, bobble it, keep concentration, go get it, come down, and then it's just a sprint, and I'm going to throw it on Tucker Thaxton every time. What a great, great job and a great play call for a fake pitch out to allow Kerr to roll out to his strong hand side, just kind of throw it up. He had him beat. Tucker Thaxton had to come back for the football about 2 yards. I wouldn't say he out-jumped. He timed his jump a lot better right there. Tucker Thaxton goes up and gets it, takes it to the house. What a great, great start on the offense for Southeast of Saline.
And my apologies to Tucker Thaxton. I saw the 2. Wyatt Boyd wears 12. Tucker Thaxton wears 22. And I saw the 2 as he was turning away. As Southeast of Saline gets the 2-point conversion, and they go up 14-0. It's Tucker Thaxton on a 60-yard touchdown reception from Daniel Kerr. Thaxton now 138 yards. And a touchdown for Southeast of Saline as we come up to a timeout. 7:22 left to go in the third quarter. It's Trojans 14, Mustangs nothing on KINA.
Salina Regional's Orthopedic and Sports Medicine is your home field advantage. Our physicians include sports medicine physician Dr. Matthew Pyle, along with orthopedic surgeons Drs. Travis Rump and Todd Riley, plus an A-team of certified athletic trainers and physical therapists. We're ready when you need us to help prevent injuries, enhance performance, or to heal through surgery and rehabilitation. For area athletes to weekend warriors, the home field advantage starts at Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
What a play out of the passing game for the Trojans as Tucker Thaxton got a pass from Daniel Kerr. He went up and just literally took that football off the helmet of a Rock Creek defender and then turned, and it was over. With all his speed, Tucker Thaxton now just breaking out in this game. 7 catches, 138 yards, and now a touchdown after Southeast of Saline gets the 2-point conversion. It's 14-0. Trojans on your Marshall Motors scoring drive recap.
Yeah, and I can imagine that sideline it just erupted. So after this kickoff, we'll go down to Tyler Henry.
Here's the kick from Wyatt Boyd. It's going to hit the turf at the 20-yard line, then go into a Rock Creek return man. Makes a nice spin move. This is Christensen at the 30. Gets away again at the 35. Still has some race space at the 35-40. Still running to the 50 before Southeast of Saline can finally bring him down. Trevor Christensen with a big play there for Rock Creek. Let's go down on the sidelines. Here's Tyler.
Guys, remember, Christensen was the one that came limping off the field, so whatever was the issue, it's clearly been solved. You're absolutely right, Russ. Southeast of Saline sideline, that's the most into this game I've seen them, as both teams have kind of just gotten their offense slow and steady. But on the other side, that's about the most fired up I've seen this Rock Creek sideline as they get a big return. We'll see if they can turn that momentum into something here.
Southeast of Saline inserting Killian Vaughn in at linebacker. What a great name for a linebacker, huh? He'll set up on the outside on the left-hand side. This is going to be Mac Lee, and he is buried behind the line of scrimmage. Coming in, making the tackle that time for Southeast of Saline was Killian Vaughn. How's that for foreshadowing, huh?
That's exactly right. He read that play well, got through the first level to the second level, and made a great open field tackle on Mac Lee.
He was kind of one of the guys, low-key, that Mitch Gebhardt told me about, because I always like to talk to Mitch off air and say, Coach, give me some youngsters, give me some guys to look for. He was one of the guys. He said, I got a sophomore that is going to work his way into linebacker, Killian Vaughn, that you need to kind of keep an eye out here. He was one of many that Coach Gebhardt told me about. Here's a sweep now, left-hand side. Mac Lee tried to cut it back, about had his head taken off as he cuts back in and runs into big Brody Chambers.
Yeah, and it's probably a good thing he went down when he did, because he was fixing to take a shot from Brody Chambers.
7 yards on that carry. Mac Lee, now tonight, 8 carries, 9 yards. It's been a tough night for him.
Yeah, and you go back to that middle linebacker spot. You got 2 sophomores in there right now, and Killian Vaughn and Gebhardt playing in that linebacker position.
3rd down and 5, nose of the football, sitting at the southeast 45-yard line. Rock Creek with 3 wide receivers to the right. Gavin Rosa in there, and he will complete it for a first down. Now Mustangs will go backwards 3 yards. Now they go ahead 3 yards, and they're going to pick up the first down after a gain of 8 on that catch. Brandon Craneville. Let's go down the sideline. Here's a story with Tyler Henry.
Yeah, guys, you were talking about Killian Vaughn a moment ago, and my eyes lit up because you mentioned the good open field tackle. Southeast of Saline sent 3 guys to the state tournament to wrestle for a state title individually. Killian Vaughn was one of those guys last year, guys, as a freshman.
Linebacker, wrestler, hand in hand, right? I mean, that's the way it goes. First down and 10 for Rock Creek here at the 37-yard line. Rosa back to pass again. He is going to be hit as he throws, and it's going to be complete. And now Rock Creek will have a touchdown as Dagan Vinduska wrestles this away from a Southeast of Saline defender. And with 5:24 left to play in the third quarter, the Mustangs get on the board.
Yeah, and a great job by Rosa right there. Stood in the pocket and took an absolute shot as Brody Chambers had 2, 3, 4 guys on him. And still broke through and took a shot, but a great ball by Rosa and a great catch by Vinduska.
So what Southeast of Saline does, Rock Creek says we can do as well, as they go for 36 yards down the field, get their first touchdown of the evening here with 5:24 left to go.
And taking a long time to get the tee in for the extra point. Play clock's got to be running down.
Talked about Dagan Vinduska earlier, the leading receiver off this team from a year ago. That returned. Extra point. Up. And it is good. 14-7 is our scores. We are off and running here. Midway through the third quarter, Southeast of Saline leads it by 7, but the Mustangs from Rock Creek are on the board with 5:24 remaining. Here's a timeout as you listen to Trojan football here on KINA.
Looking to take the next step in your career? Consider an MBA from Kansas Wesleyan. You can complete the program fully online in as little as 1 year, and your last class is free. Want to be a part of one of the region's fastest-growing universities? Visit kwu.edu/MBA today. That's kwu.edu/MBA.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Back here on the road, Rock Creek and Southeast of Saline, the Trojans leading the Mustangs right now 14-7, and want to invite you out to the game next week. Bring your radios with you or your phone, however you prefer to listen and watch Southeast of Saline football, as we will be at home to take on the Beloit Trojans, a renewal of the Trojan War. And one of the home field advantages the Southeast of Saline has when they're at home are Sage products. Anytime you go to the restroom or to the concession stand, look around, you will find Sage products from floor to ceiling. That is one of the many home field advantages that Southeast of Saline has when they are playing at the Fritz. They are products from Sage that you can buy online at sageselects.com. Have them for your own home or office. 14-7 our score. Rock Creek ready to deliver this football back to Southeast of Saline. Back deep, Cameron Whitty. Here's a kick that will go to Nate Friesen, who was in front of Whitty. Friesen will take it at the 20, 25, 30, 35. Look out, cuts it back 40, and still going to the 45-yard line. It's really the first time tonight we have seen the wheels of Nate Friesen as he is out in the open there. And Friesen will take it to the 45 and make good field position here for his Trojan offense.
Yeah, and we'll see how this Trojan offense responds to giving up the score, being the first score of the night for Rock Creek. See what Kerr, Friesen, and this offensive line could dial up here.
Southeast getting set here offensively. First down and 10. Is their second drive of the second half. Everybody kind of in a cluster here. Nobody wide right. Here's the give to Cameron Whitty. Gets away from a tackler. Cuts it back up inside across the 50, and he'll break it down to the 47-yard line. It is a gain of about 7. Make it 8 for Cameron Whitty. His first carry of the night. And Cameron Whitty did not carry the ball a lot last year either. In his junior year, he only had 2 carries for 10 yards.
Yeah, and another guy with absolute raw speed that you would like to see turn the corner.
2nd and 2. Kerr will keep it. Got face masked. He's still on his feet, and the flag will come in. This will be a huge penalty against the Mustangs of Rock Creek. Kerr slid by one tackler, and that's one thing we're noticing here about Daniel Kerr. He is very kind of elusive in a little box sort of way. He doesn't move a whole lot, but he makes people miss. And that time the Mustang of Rock Creek came by and just yanked his face mask around to the side. Kerr still got the first down at the 45-yard line, but now they're going to tack penalty up on it, and they're only going to say it's just a 5-yarder to the 40.
Yeah, nonetheless, still a first down and a great job. Like you said, Kerr doesn't have that elusive breakawayness, but he'll make the first guy miss, and you got to have 2 guys around the ball.
First down and 10. Trojans at the 40-yard line in Rock Creek territory. That time a little hesitation play. Kerr breaks out again. Takes on a defensive back at the 35. He'll get it to the 34 on a gain of 6. Here's that good rhythm again that Southeast of Saline established in the first half. It just seems like offensively they are more comfortable than what they were on their first 3 drives. And that comes with experience and just playing the game, right?
Yeah, having this group out here compared to the group last year, it's a total different rhythm and sequence than what we've noticed in the past few years.
Friesen directly behind Kerr here in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers to the right. Now Whitty will leave. Here's the give to Friesen. Right up the gut into the second level. He is tackled from behind and will fall ahead to the 26-yard line for a gain of 7. Nate Friesen, 8 carries, 29 yards now for the senior. Over 1,000 yards last year as he was tackled down at the 26.
Yeah, and a great job up front. Pulled the opposite guard and tackled the lead through there, and Friesen able to get through the first level untouched and then run through a would-be tackler for a first down.
Southeast of Saline moves the chains now at the 26-yard line. First down and 10. 3 wide receivers to the left. Low snap. Kerr picks it up, puts it in the belly of Friesen. And again, I can't help but to go back to what you said in the first half, Russ. Those low snaps are throwing the timing and the sequence of some of these plays off.
Yeah, because it looked like Friesen had a gap there going up the field, but he was on a full sprint, and then he had to stop and wait for the ball to get there, and then by that time it had just come up short. Evan Watkins just missing that block on the kick out right there.
Still got about a half a yard on the play as the ball's sitting now closer to the 25-yard line for a second down and 9.5. 2 wide receivers to the left. Fake it to Friesen. Kerr wants to roll out left. Has a receiver out there. It's going to be Whitty waiting on it, and Whitty's going to dive ahead and get just inside of the 10-yard line. What an effort there by Cameron Whitty to pick up another Trojan first down and put Southeast of Saline in the Can-Equip red zone, the Case IH red zone. Once again, brought to you by Can-Equip in Salina.
And that might be the third or fourth time we saw Cameron Whitty get the ball along the sideline and just great footwork to stay in bounds, knowing you're about to go out, dive forward to get that extra 2 or 3 yards.
Cameron Whitty's first catch is 17 yards. Here's Kerr now on the keeper, dancing in the hole. He's going up the middle of the field, has a few yards. He's inside the 5 to the 4. Gain of 5 for Daniel Kerr as Southeast of Saline is knocking on the door once again. The 11th carry by Kerr as he is now over 50 yards with 51.
And last time down in this position, it was Grady Gebhardt getting the ball. Grady back in the game at the tailback position.
Kerr has Gebhardt to the right. Watkins in tight as well, right behind Brody Chambers. Kerr wants to keep it after the fake handoff to Whitty. Daniel Kerr plunges ahead for a Southeast of Saline touchdown. Third touchdown of the night for the Trojans. This one, the first rushing touchdown for Daniel Kerr, and it comes from 4 yards away.
Yeah, just a great job, a great read right there. 2 fakes opened up just wide enough where Kerr could get through there, dive in, get to the end zone. A great answer drive to what Rock Creek just put together for their touchdown. Southeast able to go 55 yards right there for the touchdown.
20-7 our score. Southeast trying to add on the 2-point conversion. Standard set here. Kerr rolling out to the left, wants to put it over the top, and it will be incomplete in the end zone. So 6 points taken by Southeast of Saline. They lead by a baker's dozen. 20-7 is our score. 2:17 left to go here in the third quarter. Trojans out in front. Mustangs will get their chance when we come back. You're listening and watching Southeast of Saline Trojan football on SalinaPost.com.
Don't get caught on empty. Fill up on all your basic needs at Asaria Oil and Hardware. We want to be sure you are fueled up and ready for whatever may be around the corner, no matter what time of day. Now live at Asaria Oil and Hardware, 24/7 pumps. No matter what time of day or night, your gas and diesel tanks can rely on us. During regular business hours, you can get your favorite pizza and snacks to have enough energy to win the day. Asaria Oil and Hardware, located in Asaria at the corner of Center and Main. We'll fill you up.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
After Rock Creek's first score of the night, Southeast of Saline answers with a 7-play drive, and it was a short field, really, just 55 yards after the big kick return by Nathan Friesen to the 45-yard line. It was capped off by Daniel Kerr's first rushing touchdown of the season. A 4-yard touchdown run, 2-point conversion, no good. And your Marshall Motors scoring drive puts Southeast of Saline up 20-7 with 2:17 left to go here in the third.
And that was a big answer right there. You needed that answer to go back to kind of see where you were at. The momentum kind of shifted to Rock Creek. They're scoring on a big play. But if Southeast, just like they did, come back and scoring to match them.
Wyatt Boyd has his hand in the air. He's going to pooch this one in an open part of the field, and it's trouble for Rock Creek. Rolls all the way back to the 15. They have to go back and chase it. Now turn back the other way, and by that time there is a tribe of Trojans there to take him down. We have talked about this and seen this, Tyler Henry, with Mitch Gebhardt throughout the last couple of years since Wyatt Boyd has come on to be a kicker. He is not a boomer. They don't ask him to do that. They ask him to be a placement kicker, and that one was almost perfect.
Well, and that's the brilliance not only of the coaching staff, but also just understanding what you've got. You play to your strengths. If you don't want the kid trying to kick it all the way for a touchback, you figure out what works best, and Southeast of Saline has certainly done that. Tell you what, 2 great head coaches in a chess match here. How about these offensive adjustments? Both of these offensive units coming to life in the second half.
Chapman has taken a lead over Concordia as we check the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. 14-13 Irish now, as the Rock Creek Mustangs start out at their own 21-yard line. Not good field position here for Rock Creek when you look at this game. They have really kind of started around midfield, 35, 45-yard line most of the night. They're starting this one out at 21-yard line, and a sweep to the left-hand side doesn't get them much on first down. No gain on the play. Brings up second down and 10.
Yeah, in fact, if anything, they're going to mark him back a half a yard. So another negative yard rush play right there by Rock Creek. Great job by the corners out here to make those tackles.
4 carries, -5 yards for Trevor Christensen tonight. Here's Gavin Rosa, back to pass. Lets one rip over the middle of the field. Goes right through his receiver's hands. Evan Becker trying to make the catch. Then Tucker Thaxton had a chance to intercept that one, but that ball had a vapor trail. Both guys really had a hard time picking that one up as it falls incomplete.
Yeah, kind of behind the receiver. I think he just got a fingertip on it that kind of knocked it off its path, but that one was coming right into the face mask of Tucker Thaxton, which would be about the 4th or 5th interception could have happened.
Yeah, they've been close all night long. There's no doubt about that. There has been no interceptions in this game. 3 fumbles, though. Southeast with 2 of them, and another quarterback sack. This one, though, the ball ends up with Evan Becker somehow. He's going to take it out to the 24-yard line and gain 3 yards. But coming in, trying to get another quarterback sack is that front 3 for Southeast of Saline.
Yeah, that was Josiah Monday once again. We saw it to end the first half where he came through and almost beats the football to the backfield, but a great job right there. At another forced fumble by these front, kind of sent Grady Gebhardt up the middle on a blitz. Nate Friesen coming to the outside, just not nowhere to block, and Josiah Monday's not the guy you want to leave untouched.
Thaxton and Kerr back deep. Elijah Bell in punt formation from his own 14-yard line. A high spiraling kick that's going to take a bounce and then take a left turn, go to the Rock Creek sideline, and Southeast of Saline, again, will have good field position here as the Trojans take over at their own 41-yard line. Tyler, you talked about it in the first half when Gavin Rosa came in and kind of started to establish that rhythm. You said those front 3 for Southeast, whoever that may be as they rotate through, needed to get pressure. They have done that so far here in the third.
Well, and you also got to think, if you're not bringing the 4th guy to get pressure on the quarterback, that means you've got another guy back in coverage, and that has been a problem as these first-year quarterbacks for Rock Creek just try to find the open man. Oftentimes, there's not one.
Tyler, welcome home, bud.
Good to be here.
20-7 our score. Southeast of Saline leading by 13. They also have the football from the 41. Here's the give to Friesen. Patient cut, comes through the hole. Look out, there's a flag on the play. Friesen's going to knock off a big chunk of yardage here at the 15-yard line as he makes it all the way to the 45, but I think we're going to have to sort out a penalty. Nathan Weller had his guy absolutely buried back at the 40-yard line. I'm not saying the penalty's on him. I'm just saying Nathan Weller had his guy buried back at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, there was about 4 or 5 Rock Creek guys laying there on the sideline as it looked like Friesen getting stretched out again here on the field, but I don't know, in a conglomeration or whatever you want to call it in the middle, the official that is, he's explaining now what he's doing. He said he's turning him. Well, he turned him straight south right into the ground. So I'm not quite sure what you can call there, but early penalties, we saw this in the first quarter. We saw a lot of holding penalties against Southeast early that put them well behind the sticks.
The trainer's trying to help Nathan Friesen up, and he went, nope, not ready for that yet. So the trainers that come to Southeast of Saline games and do such a great job with all the area schools from Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, man, we are so lucky to have that luxury going to football games and having experienced sports training staff go with us. I mean, it just kind of eases the mind, right? The coaches have to worry about less. The players get comfortable. They have to worry about less. And right now, Nathan Friesen getting stretched out as the officials say, it's probably time to get some water, boys. Let's go to the sidelines here and let's get some H2O in our bodies as we go to the end of the third quarter here. Just 40.7 seconds left. And they marked off that holding penalty, which was a holding penalty at the line of scrimmage. And now Southeast of Saline will be backed up. The football will be sitting at their own 30-yard line. Tyler? You, my friend, will have an early morning tomorrow as you have the call of the Kansas Wesleyan Coyotes. It's the big rivalry game in Salina, is it not, with Kansas Wesleyan and their friends from Lindsborg?
Yes, sir, it certainly is. And Kansas Wesleyan trying to win what would be their 9th straight over a Bethany team. It's been a good 1,500 days since the Swedes picked up a victory at all, and looking for a bounce back after a tough 17-7 game against Evangel last week. But you are correct, sir. We will have the call. Kickoff at 10 a.m. Countdown to kickoff presented by our friends over at CAD Law begins at 9 a.m. Wake up and enjoy your Saturday morning with us. We'll be on the air back there on KINA and see if we can't get that stream up on the KDub website as well.
We thought they were going to go the other way. That game was originally scheduled for 7 o'clock. We thought they were going to push it back a little bit. Some high schools did that tonight. Oh, they went the other way on us. They went early morning. My first response to Tyler was, man, that's an early tailgate. I mean, what do you start there, 6?
Maybe 5.
So a 10-yard penalty puts Southeast of Saline back to their own 30. It's first down and 20 now as Daniel Kerr fakes a little pass out to the left-hand side and then tucks it and runs. He's only going to get about 2 on that play as he moves it out to the 32. Maybe one more play, if that, here at the end of the third quarter.
I think if you're Southeast of Saline and the coaching staff, you just let this clock run out. You got a 20-7 lead. Don't need to run a play right here. Just take this one into the fourth quarter, switch ends of the field, see if you can put a sustained drive together, burn some time off the clock, and get points on the board.
And after having just 6 points in the whole first half of action, we have put up now 21 points here in the third quarter. One more quarter left to go, It's the fourth quarter, and we will do that when we come back. Southeast of Saline football is presented by our friends at L&L Advisors as we go through week number 1 of high school football on KINA and SalinaPost.com.
It's third down and 8 for the Trojans. They really need to make the right call here.
During the football game, it's crucial to make the right call. And in real estate, one call can bring a positive outcome from your real estate experience. Whether you're looking for real property, upsizing to make room for the family, downsizing, or acquiring investment property, call Winnell Garrettson at SalinaHomes.com.
What a call! Touchdown, Trojan!
Buy or sell, call Winnell.
It's the summer of Jeep at your number one Jeep dealer, Marshall Motors. Discounts on all new Jeep models across the lot. Up to $3,000 off 2023 Grand Cherokee L. Take $5,000 off a brand new Jeep Renegade. $6,000 off the always tough 2023 Jeep Gladiator. And up to $9,000 off the 2023 Wrangler Rubicon. And don't forget about the 6th annual Abilene Oktoberfest coming up September 15th and 16th in downtown Abilene. Presented in part by Marshall Motors.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Checking the Bennington State Bank scoreboard as we're back here at Rock Creek High School. Minneapolis may be a team that has to be dealt with this year. Minneapolis right now rolling over Republic County, 46-0. The Lions at halftime, leading the Buffaloes. That was one of those games that started late because of the heat. Here it's 20-7, Southeast of Saline with the lead and the football. Daniel Kerr rolling out to his left-hand side. Now he's going to tuck it and run. Gets away from one Mustang. Rolls over another one in the second level. And Daniel Kerr all the way out to the 48-yard line after a gain of 15. That'll bring up 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, it looked like a screenplay right there that they had set up to the far side of the field. Kerr seeing that they had that well covered and just took off running, scrambled, lineman just chasing after him as it looks like Kerr's coming out of the game, so it looks like
he is cramping now. So he'll go over to the Salina Regional trainers, and Gannon Jacobson, a sophomore, will check in. Jacobson, a big spot here. It's 3rd and 3 from the 48-yard line. Jacobson has Grady Gebhardt behind him. Little chemistry there, right? Couple of sophomores. Jacobson now checking out of the play. He'll call an audible. He'll turn, give it to Gebhardt. Gebhardt stumbles behind the line of scrimmage, trying to run out of a tackle. He's going to be awfully, awfully close to that first down stick as he came across the 50-yard line, and he is right there. The officials are going to eyeball it. They look down the line, and the official on the near side says, move those chains. It's a Southeast first down, but the official, White Hat, has not signaled that, and now he does. So those two sophomores, Jacobson and Gebhardt, come up big on a 3rd and 3.
Yeah, and tough spot to be put in. Big 3rd down, the start of the fourth quarter. Come in, change us the play.
Coaches, kids.
Yeah, they understand.
1st down and 10 at midfield, Southeast of Saline. See if they can keep this drive alive. Again, everybody looking over to the sidelines now as Gannon Jacobson might be trying to get out of this play, or maybe they were looking at a timeout here. I'm not sure what's going on. The official comes in, and he is going to say offensive offsides. That'll cost Southeast 5 yards. Not sure what happened there. They never got the play off, never got set. But the official blew Southeast of Saline dead and gave them an offsides penalty.
I can't explain that one.
I can't either. 2 hands on the hip like it would be on the defense. Here's Jacobson now faking the handoff to Cameron Woody, who comes around. Gannon looking for daylight. There is none, and there's no gain on the play. 2nd and 15. That was strange.
Yeah, you almost wonder if there was a lineman maybe lined up, offsides, across the nose of the football. I've seen that call, but usually they wait till the play's ran.
Yeah, they never got set.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that. Tyler, down there, you got something for us.
Yeah, well, if he did put his hand in the dirt and he was lined up that far offside, there was no way he could pick it up without the false start.
Thank you. Here's Jacobson now on 2nd down and 15. Wants to sling it out to the right-hand side, looking for Wyatt Boyd. The ball behind him. Wyatt Boyd made an acrobatic effort to come back, got both hands on the football, but cannot make the catch, and he pounds the turf with his right hand as that ball goes incomplete.
Yeah, just a little bit out of reach from the stretched arms there, but a good-looking thrown ball by Jacobson coming in and played quarterback pretty much, I think, about his whole career coming up through the ranks.
Even got some time last year as a freshman. We would kind of seemed like we'd go through. Southeast would get a big lead in most of their games. Kerr would come in, run maybe 1 or 2 drives, and then Gannon would finish it out from there. 4 wide receivers on 3rd down and 15. Jacobson rolling out to the left, tried to throw back to Evan Watkins, and that ball is going to be slapped out of the air by Rock Creek's defender, Peyton McCarn. So 4th down coming up here for Southeast of Saline, and really a great offensive rhythm established by Southeast of Saline is crushed as we look over there on the side, and Daniel Kerr still being stretched out.
Yeah, 6-play drive that only picked up 1 first down, and now you're Evan Watkins back in punt formation.
9:46 left to go here, 4th quarter, 20-7, Southeast of Saline. Evan Watkins standing at his own 32-yard line. He has 2 Mustangs standing at their own 25. This ball, low line drive. Rock Creek's going to take it and then hit immediately by Malachi Watkins. The returner, though, gets away, and then Grady Gebhardt comes in along with Malachi to go ahead and make that tackle at the 30-yard line. They only give up about 4 yards doing that because Grady was there to help out, but Rock Creek will start out here at their own 30-yard line. And it's our time to remind you this tune right to KINA here after the game for the scoreboard show. Across the state of Kansas, scores and game wraps from week number 1. It goes for every Friday night from 10 until 11 o'clock. It's the Kansas High School Scoreboard Show, brought to you by Home Automotive Centers in Abilene and Salina, and also the Salina Surgical Hospital on KINA.
How fast did Malachi Hopkins get down there? Because that punt didn't have very much hang time on it.
Really didn't. Here's Gavin Rosa back in there at quarterback for Rock Creek. He tries to go over the middle and it's picked off. Grady Gebhardt at the 40. Gebhardt comes to the 35 and then hit out of bounds inside the 30-yard line at the 29. They have been living dangerously all night long, and finally the sophomore linebacker, Grady Gebhardt, makes him pay as we go to Tyler.
Yeah, Gebhardt just jumps the route that time, and it was one of those, like you said, playing with fire 4, 5, 6 times throughout this game. Throwing that pass over the middle, Gebhardt read it beautifully, got 2 hands on it, and they're lucky they didn't give up more on that return.
So Gebhardt sticks up for his offense that may be reeling just a little bit. Daniel Kerr is back in there, so we have him and Friesen back into the backfield. Now the 2 teams equal with 2 turnovers apiece.
Yeah, and the interception is probably by the shortest guy on the field. So if that tells you that ball wasn't underthrown a lot, but Gebhardt, a great job right there.
Boy, it was a quick turnaround, though, wasn't it? He knew exactly where to start heading after he had that ball picked out of the air. Here's 4 quick yards by Friesen. Rock Creek saying they have it as they start running the other way. The official comes in and says, no, sir, that ball is on the ground, and that caused the fumble. He was down. Which I still go back to the first half, and eventually you hope everything evens out, right? I think there was a fumble, the first one on Southeast of Saline that we saw right in front of us that may have not been. This may equal that one out if it was. I don't know that if it was it or not. Here's the handoff now to Friesen. He comes to the left side. Boy, you can tell Nathan is hurting. He went to step on the gas pedal, and something grabbed there in his legs as those cramps continue to bother him, and there's a flag on the play.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to get holding again, but Southeast very fortunate, very, very fortunate right there as they win a quick snap. Friesen wasn't set and took 1 step forward as the ball was being snapped, so really not set on offense is now Friesen's going to go back to the sideline and Grady Gebhardt going to come back in. Daniel Kerr stretching out again.
Man. So 10-yard penalty, spot of the foul. Couple of yards there by Friesen, but they're going to back this football up. Southeast of Saline will have it at Rock Creek's 36-yard line. So Friesen got a gain of 4 before the penalty happened there. His 10th carry of the night. Kerr fakes it to Friesen this time. Daniel wants to roll out to the right. Comes back, throws it with his left. Now he throws an interception taken by Dagan Vinduska. He's going up the left-hand side. He may not be caught, and now he's blasted out of bounds out of nowhere by Josiah Monday at the 39-yard line. There's a flag on the left-hand sideline. And Tyler, you told me a little bit ago you have some information about our friend Dagan Vinduska.
Well, yeah, Dagan Vinduska is one of those guys. I mean, he did a lot of great things on both sides of the football for Rock Creek a season ago. He was overshadowed, though, by a couple of bigger names, both at wide receiver on the offense and from his spot in the secondary on the defense. When I was talking with Coach Sieben preseason for our season preview, he told me that Dagan Vinduska is one of those guys. He had solid numbers last year. He's a known quantity, but he is set and primed for a big breakout season. He showed all of that on full display on both sides so far. A reception for a touchdown already, and now a big interception to get Rock Creek the football right back.
The leading receiver of the core group of guys that came back from a year ago for Rock Creek that only lost 2 games. They were 9-2 to end the season. and also one of the main defenders, as we saw right there in the Rock Creek secondary. The penalty was against Rock Creek, Russ.
Yeah, a legal block in the back over there. Maybe the first ill-thrown ball by Daniel Kerr we've seen in this game.
Here's an offsides now by Southeast of Saline as Josiah Monday can't keep it all in the jar, and he's going to go ahead and just lose his bounce. His helmet comes in across the neutral zone, and that'll be 5 yards for Rock Creek, and they will put the football now out to the 50-yard line, where it will become 1st down and 5 for the Mustangs. 8:39 left to go. 20-7 is our score. Southeast of Saline has led the whole way. They led 6-0 at halftime. Scored the first touchdown of the third quarter. Then Rock Creek was able to answer, but then the Trojans answered right back. Here's Gavin Rosa wanting to throw. This one's up in the air. Could be trouble, and it's going to be picked. Daniel Kerr comes down, and in 5 plays, we've had 3 interceptions. You got to be kidding me. That one right off the hands of a Rock Creek receiver popped up in the air, and Daniel Kerr takes it into custody.
That one off the hands of the receiver, then his helmet, then another hand tried to get it and swung it up in the air. 20, 30 feet in the air, and Kerr jumped up probably prematurely and just kind of hung in the air and ended up catching it when it came back down. Very, very dangerous situation there as that ball's that high in the air. Really could have been anybody's, and it fell right into the lap of number 16.
Turnover count now 3-3.
First game of the year.
It was pretty clean, though, up until just last flurry right here. Here is Daniel Kerr, kind of riding Friesen at the right-hand side. Then he pulls it out of his belly, surges ahead on that little belly option, read option play, and he'll get 8 yards. Daniel Kerr surges straight ahead. And I love the liberty that these guys are given by the coaching staff for Southeast. They're hurting. You can tell. You look at Friesen, you look at Kerr out there, Whitty's down on his knee. They are gutting it out, and the coaching staff will not pull them out. They leave it up to the guys for the most part to tell them when they can and cannot go, and I love that about this coaching staff.
Yeah, and knowing a lot of these kids throughout the years, they're, Kerr, Friesen, they're not going to take themselves out unless the officials stop the game and they have to be taken out.
It's only one plan, right? To the 45-yard line at Rock Creek territory. Here's the give to Friesen. Sidesteps a tackler, gets into the second level, still surging down to the 32-yard line. That may have been the gutsiest 13-yard carry you're going to see by Nate Friesen. 11th carry of the night, 46 yards now for Friesen, and a crucial first down for the Trojans down to the 32-yard line in Mustang territory.
And Friesen, right before that play, was reaching down, stretching both legs out right before the snap, then got set and just turned the jets on. These guys are having trouble walking, stiff leg, cramping up from the hips down, and he still busts out a 13-yard run right up the middle of the field.
And they are in clock mode right now with a 2-possession lead. 7:17 left to go in the fourth quarter, and they have a first down and 10 at the Mustang 32-yard line. This will be as slow and methodical as you will see a Southeast of Saline offense. 2 backs in the backfield as they will lead block here for Daniel Kerr. Kerr cannot get away from the Mustangs as they take him down after a 2-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 8. Daniel Kerr, 16 carries tonight, and he has put together a gutsy performance, 82 yards and a touchdown on those 16 carries just in the rushing game.
Yeah, and this game, Tyler, goes back up to the game up front. We saw both defenses in the first half, but now it seems to swing a little in the offensive front line favor for Southeast.
Well, with a couple of these guys, obviously not feeling 100%, you wonder if Southeast isn't hoping to get one more score to kind of put this game a little further out of reach and then maybe start resting a couple of guys up like Nate Friesen. I know he doesn't want to come off the field, but you get another touchdown, you wonder if we might not see him again tonight.
2nd down and 8. They give it this time to Friesen. He's kind of stutter steps around a big surge into the middle out line. Friesen will get a yard and make it 3rd down and 7. 12 carries tonight for Nathan Friesen. And that bright orange harvest moon creeping up over the trees over the Southeast of Saline side of the stands. 30-yard line is the line of scrimmage. Under 6 minutes now left to play. 20-7, Southeast of Saline. Trojan football here in week 1 brought to you by our friends at L&L Advisors. 3 locations, 1 right by Salina Central, Salina South Stadium, 1 in the Central Mall, and 1 in downtown McPherson. 3rd and 8. Long count here by Kerr. Pitch out to Friesen. They want to stretch it to the right-hand side. Friesen trying to find that speed. Surges ahead. Right along the sideline. He get the first down. Tyler, take it away. That was right in front of you.
It's awfully close, Devin. This might be measurement territory, although there you go. You got the signal. It's a first down. Move the chains and reset it on 1st and 10. That's big for Southeast of Saline. Only 5:26 left. You're already up 2 scores. That is a backbreaker if you're Rock Creek.
That may be the play of the game to put this one away for Southeast of Saline. Nathan Friesen just kind of tiptoed his way along the sideline there and was able to get enough off that 9-yard carry to move the chains.
And speaking of play in the game, stick around for afterwards as we'll have the Vernon Jewelers gem of the game. I think we can be in all agreement on what happened in the first half.
Yeah, there was a bit. Here is Grady Gebhardt right up the middle. He runs over a Rock Creek defender, leaves a victim in the middle of the field, and Grady Gebhardt, the sophomore tailback, has his 2nd touchdown of the night. Dagan Vendeska came up and tried to tackle him, but he was just a blip on the tracks for Grady Gebhardt, who scores from 21 yards away.
And Tyler, how impressive is he to watch down there running up the middle through there and not slowing down, just putting his shoulder pads down and running over people.
You talk about having to be a fundamental tackler. You got to wake up pretty early in the morning if you want to bring down Grady Gebhardt.
5:20 left to go here in the 4th. And that might have put it away here for Southeast of Saline. What a run by Gebhardt. Going for 2 now. Kerr picks up the low snap off the ground. Surging ahead, looking for 2. The officials unpiling everybody.
Still no signal.
Still no signal. Still no signal. And they're going to say they did not get in. So Southeast has left 3 different point-after situations on the field tonight. Did not get points, but they do extend their lead to 26-7. Southeast of Saline in the driver's seat with 5:20 left to go here at the Rock at Rock Creek High School. Trojans up 26-7 on KINA.
Make this the summer at Marshall Motors in Salina. Huge discounts on your new Ram truck with up to $10,000 off 2023 Ram 1500 models. Check out the all-new 2023 Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid with rebates up to $2,500. Make this the summer you drive a new vehicle from Marshall Motors in Salina. And don't forget about the 6th annual Abilene Oktoberfest coming up September 15th and 16th in downtown Abilene. Presented in part by Marshall Motors in Salina.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
26-7 is our score, a 6-play drive. Nathan Friesen kept that drive alive on a 9-yard run along the right-hand sideline. It was the southeast sideline, kind of tiptoeing his way to get a first down. And on the very next play, Grady Gebhardt runs over a Rock Creek defender, and from 21 yards out, he puts his 2nd touchdown on the board for the night and makes it 26-7, Southeast of Saline. Now here's a short kick by Wyatt Boyd. Coming up to take it is Rock Creek, and now they have some space down the left-hand sideline, then knocked out of bounds by Cameron Whitty, it looks like, over there on the far side. Noah Valberg, maybe a freshman for Rock Creek on that return.
Looks like they're going to spot this about maybe the 45, 44-yard line. What a good return. On a short kick right there, doing everything he could to get back to the midfield stripe. A great job by the Southeast Saline special teams right there to not allow him. Also appears there's a flag down on the far side of the field. Haven't seen a call yet, marking it off as if it is against Southeast of Saline.
Here's our first final of the night while we sort out that penalty. It is from Abilene and Marysville in the NCKL. Abilene starts out with a win, 28-14 over the Marysville Bulldogs. Congratulations to the Cowboys. That penalty was against Southeast of Saline. It'll move Rock Creek into Trojan territory now at the 43-yard line. Mac Lee back in there at quarterback. He's going to have a design quarterback run. He'll surge ahead to about the 36-yard line, tackled there by Grady Gebhardt. Also, Killian Vaughn.
Yeah, designed run the whole way right there by Mac Lee, just getting it, not even faking a throw. As soon as he got it, went right up the middle, knowing how not little time he has to get through there.
Rock Creek now in hurry-up mode. They're going to roll it out to the right-hand side. Evan Becker catches it behind the line of scrimmage. Now he fumbles the football. It's on the turf. Southeast is going to have it. Fumble recovery by Wyatt Boyd. It was stripped out of there, and Wyatt Boyd came and picked it up. It might have been Killian Vaughn in there on the strip.
Yeah, I think that's exactly who it was, Killian Vaughn getting in there, stripping the ball. I couldn't tell who it was at first. Tried to pick it up and scoop and score because whoever it was would have, but Wyatt Boyd falling on the football And now Southeast takes back over with 4:43 left to go in the game.
7 turnovers tonight combined between these two teams. Until then, they were split right down the middle. Now 4 for Rock Creek. And another score update for you on the BSB scoreboard. Sacred Heart and Wichita Trinity, they are engaged in a battle. Sacred Heart leading 26-22 with 4.5 minutes left in the third. Here is Cameron Whitty, end around, takes it over to the right-hand side, tripped up and gets 8, maybe 9 yards on first down.
Yeah, a tripped up shoestring tackle right there. Tyler, looked like he might have been able to turn the corner.
Oh, he would have turned the corner. He had one. There was one guy that was still capable with the seam to bring him down, and he found a way at the last second. But right now, you can tell, I mean, Southeast of Saline, they've kind of delivered that big haymaker blow. They've got the 3-score lead. They're just grinding out clock right now.
2nd down and 1 after the 9-yard carry by Whitty. I think we're going to see Cameron get the ball a little bit more, don't you? He is so fast and so electric.
Yeah, and it's not only the top-end speed. He's at full speed in 3 steps. Like his first 2 or 3 steps right off the line of scrimmage, and maybe look for him if Southeast goes to the passing game as burning defenders down the field.
2nd down and 1. Here's the delayed handoff to Friesen, who slides to the right, gets through second level. Friesen has to beat the safety, and Vendeska will take him down at the 35. What another marvelous carry by the crafty Nate Friesen.
Yeah, and a touchdown-saving tackle right there by the safety that came up. But Friesen ran through 2, 3, 4, 5 guys before the last one brought him down. A gutty performance by Nate Friesen.
17 yards on that carry by Friesen. He now has 73 yards on the night. He takes that one into Rock Creek territory at the 35-yard line. First down and 10 Trojans. 3:25 left to go in this one. 2 receivers to the left. Slot back also on that side, directly behind the offensive line. Taking the clock all the way down, watching the back judge, and his arm beginning to drop. Hasn't yet. There it goes. Now Kerr will take the snap. He'll fake it to Friesen. He will surge ahead and break off 5 yards. Boy, another pancake block by Nathan Weller out there. He is doing some work.
Yeah, he got one step by him and never lost engagement and just drove the defender straight down to the field. A great job really in the second half by this offensive line. And we talked about the defensive line really on both sides of the ball in that first half. And it seems to be the guys in white have stepped up on the offensive side of the ball to create these. They maybe not be great holes, but holes enough where Friesen and Kerr, Whitty, anybody can get through and get to the second level.
Weller, of course, is the anchor. He's the lone returning starter from a year ago, and he's going to anchor that. But he's got a little brother named Drew that's a sophomore. He's going to play an integral part on this offensive line all season long. Here's the give now to Friesen. He's going to go off the right-hand side for just about a yard. So you have the Weller brothers. You have Josiah Monday working his way in on the offensive line. You have Keaton Blake out at left tackle, who may be the most powerful 200-pounder that you're going to see. He is just a strength freak. Brody Chambers, of course, we talk about Big Brody all the time. He's 280 pounds that will not back down from anybody. And then you have Kendall Miniman over there on the right-hand side getting his first start here on the right-hand sideline. That's been the core group of these guys, and they've moved around a little bit as this game has gone along. There's been some guys come in and shuffle in and out, but that core group tonight, as you said, they have put the physical and the physicality here for Southeast of Saline. 3rd down and 4. 1:30 left to go. As Southeast is just massaging this lead and trying to put this one away. They go back to Friesen. He'll get 3 yards, and it'll bring up a 4th down and 1 as Rock Creek will burn a timeout with 1:21 left to go in this game. We will step away. We'll take it as well. A 30-second timeout. Back with more Southeast of Saline football after this.
Frisbee Construction is a service organization for the commercial grain industry dedicated to giving you the best in planning, the best in quality, and the best of workmanship, and overall the best value for your dollar since 1949. Frisbee Construction specializes in new construction as well as remodel and repair of grain handling facilities throughout the Midwest. Frisbee Construction Company in Gypsum has emergency crews available as needed. For more information, go to frisbeeinc.com.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
78 seconds left to go here in the fourth quarter. Southeast of Saline leads Rock Creek. Southeast has a couple of 3A opponents, and I know people maybe the biggest confusion and maybe one of the biggest conundrums that Keisha has put out, and that is the classification thing. What I like to tell people is take football, put it over here in its own room because it's its own thing. Yes, Southeast of Saline is 3A, every other sport. Football is a different deal. When they brought 6-man in, and it's going to prime them. It's going to get them ready for playoff time, which, as we have talked about, they've been very, very good. Over the last 3 seasons, Southeast of Saline's record is 31-3. They've only lost 1 game in the last 3 seasons combined, and it is just it's one of those things that Gebhardt does not mind playing up. He would play probably some 4A schools if he could get a hold of them and if they would agree to it, but it is just one of those things that you come out with a road win like this against a 3A school, man, you are ready to play next week and you're ready to go again. So that's one thing that we need to talk about is this win here should not be overlooked.
No, you're exactly right, because Rock Creek is, we talked about this on the way up here, probably in that upper echelon of 3A schools. And as they take one knee and the clock will wind down now, this is not a win to overshadow. This is a tough place to play. This Rock Creek team is going to be very good. You know, you talked about, we have 7-8 turnovers tonight. This is the first game of the year, so they will be a lot better. But what a gutsy performance by Mitch Gebhardt and his boys out there tonight. Just a great, great team victory tonight.
26-7 is the final score. Southeast of Saline gets the victory, and they will start 1-0, which really isn't that the goal every week for Southeast of Saline, is to go 1-0, and they have done that to start the 2023 football campaign. When we come back, we'll go down on the field. We'll talk to Mitch Gebhardt about this game. Tyler Henry will have him on the field. We'll also go over stats with you and get you all primed up for what's right around the corner. Southeast of Saline with the victory, 26-7. Postgame starts now for Trojan football as we go into postgame, and it is brought to you by Commercial Tire Center.